You know my pockets rolling. You know my pockets roll. Oh, the desktop audio is broken. I do what I say, diamond I lay. Ah, man, what the fuck is good? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you all doing, baby? Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the fucking stream. It is so good to see your beautiful face. Everyone right now, my dear king, my goat, my lord, my savior, Malcolm is very sick. Everyone say love you, Malcolm, in the chat. Wish him prayers right now. Wish him prayers right now in the chat. Everybody, wish him some fucking prayers in the chat right now. Tell him you love him. Tell him you love him. Tell him you fucking love him right now. Right now. Tell him. That boy's sick. And if he gets me fucking more sick, we got a big time problem. So you better pray for him to get better. Because if he gets me sick, we got fucking problems. Okay, we got fucking. You want to see a daily stream? Not with strep throat. There's no stream with strep throat. I do the whole thing about the fucking. I do the whole like some things are more important than your health, monitoring situation. Not with strep throat. Not with the fucking the hantavirus. Okay, I don't want to hear a damn thing about telling me to stream when I got the hanta. He's in the other room with the fucking hantavirus. So what percent chance you both die if you and Malcolm have hanta? Too high. I thought it was 20. It's worse. So, anyways, welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to the fucking stream. Big day today. Okay, we got crypto moving everywhere. Hyperliquid. Who holds Hyperliquid in this chat? It's a good day for you. We got Hyperliquid moving. We got Zcash moving. We got the big gay orange Dino coin moving. We got Zcash moving. We got the Cerebras IPO happened today. I lost money on, which is awesome. We got Trump in China with the rest of the world. We got clarity. Who knows about clarity? No clarity on clarity, but maybe at some point. We got new SPY all-time high. We got all types of shit. A lot to talk about. Zcash on the Wall Street Journal. We got Airmass coming on the stream in an hour and 15 minutes. We got Eric Voorhees on the Ansem Bank stream today, which is awesome. We got a million things to talk about, a million things to cover. We're 2 days out from the Swatch AP. We're 2 days out from the weekend, 1 day out from Friday, and TJR is joining, which is awesome. That's my guy. And I am grateful to be here, man. It feels good to be back. I'm in a good mood today, which is rare. I feel good. I feel healthy. I don't feel sick. I feel one host, Chris Berninski. First chatter. Wow. Why? Why did you ask about that? I would have Chris Berninski on. He's told me no a couple times. Actually. I don't know about no a couple times, but he told me no before. So that is no, TJ are not on my stream, on the Bank's Ansem stream. And we have Airmass today. So I'm excited. I'm happy to be here. I'm blessed to be here. I have a lot I actually have a bunch of intro stuff, so let's just start the stream with a roll call. Tom Brady, what's good? Lattice, what's good? Viblet, Caleb, I already saw you. Alex, Blind Squirrel, Rectal, Mad, First Chatter, Jackson, Ray, One Anks, Darth, Live the Life, Alex, Light, DS Lit 123, Yonian, Zaru, Kira, Riley, Knack, what's good? Caleb, what's good? Rockefeller, what's good? Kenyon, Bloom, what's good? Katsu, what's good? Seth, what's good? Any first chatters? William, what's good? One N. I'll say your name all fucking day. Swift, what's good? Squabba, what's good? Han Solo, what's good? Katsu, what's good? MC, what's good? Just a Wick, what's good? Teabag, what's good? What's up? One positive dude. F1 race car, nice one. Make the sound. H2K, what's good? Pudgy, what's good? DNAP, Dark Knight, Mans, what the fuck is good? If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. It's the only place I read the chat. It's the only place worth joining. And if you need a sub, blind gay squirrel. Oh, I see. I see. If you would like to join. Okay, so Chris Camillo yesterday was obviously awesome. It was one of the most fun discussions I've ever had on the stream. I think my biggest takeaway from Chris Camillo, because objectively we have a relatively similar style. Like all the money I've made has been on, I've never made money looking at a fucking filing report or an earnings report on fundamentals, on PE ratios. It's always momentum, narrative, mimetic type of style. I would say more mimetic than actual like social arbitrage edge that he talks about. But I think the biggest difference that I want to take away from Chris Camillo, that I sat down and I really thought about this yesterday. When do I make money? When do I lose money? These like 1 day trades that we refer to as maybe like the weaker mega church are really tiring for not that much money. They're really tiring, right? Hymns for 1 day is tiring. It really like sucks the life out of you. And so I asked him the question about, you're always looking for social data discussing consumer products. Hymns was a unique one. So he's always scraping socials to look for people talking about products. But I asked him, like, what about people talking about tickers? Because this is the crypto way, right? And this is the new era that we're sort of entering, where everyone is talking about tickers. And you get motion on coins because everyone's talking about coins. And basically what he said is that those type of moves get priced in the fastest for the smallest gains. And there is money to be made, but they are super quick. And if you're not the one doing the talking, you're probably late. This would be like a Serenity show, right? This would be like a Serenity show on a low cap versus Bubble Boy discussing the inefficiencies on why Intel is too cheap. Very different trade. Could be seen as similar, but it's a very, very, very different trade. And you would much rather be in the Bubble Boy Intel type of trade than you would the Serenity Show type of trade. Because I would much rather sit in a Zcash long for 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks and have a lot of conviction on higher size and trade less than I would to trade more and more frequently. Because like it's fun to trade a lot. It is fun from like a dopamine perspective, but it's tiring. It's really tiring to do it all the time. And so I really took that to heart with Chris Camillo, and I am going to make a conscious effort to. I want less trades, longer time horizon in our style. I think that we can do it. I think that we can really do it. It brings me to my next point, which is I think we have like a lot of edge with this whole pit thing that we don't really necessarily use. There's actually a lot of smart people in this chat that cover a lot of ground. And I don't really know how to use them because I think we could crowdsource a lot of information with the pit. I don't entirely know how to do it yet, right? I don't know how to do it yet. I thought about maybe the group, Discord group, but there's a reason I haven't done it. I thought about opening Telegram. There's a reason I haven't done that. I'm sort of like more interested in taking our market close on stream as an opportunity for you to like present ideas. Would be more interesting to me in the chat. Like have this idea, working on a thesis about like Sweet Green. They just dropped their wraps because we spend like 45 minutes on market close and it's valuable 100%. But we're more or less just like looking for ideas. Why are we doing market close? Why do we look at every ticker? We're just like seeing what's moving, what's hot, what's not. And I ask everybody, what are you in? Like, what are you in? What do you like? What are you excited about? And it would be really cool if we started to get to a point where we could like, you could start presenting ideas in the chat. And then if it's a really good one, maybe you call in. Like, I just don't want to make it too formal because then I think it gets gay. I think if it's too formal, it like ruins the point. And then it like, you overdo it, you overcook it, and then it's like, it's lame. I like it being scrappier, crowdsourced. If you got a good idea, you got a good idea. I don't need to like set up this crazy. It's like, no, you're in this chat because you care about the markets and you're looking at trades. And so if you find a trade, you share a trade. And why would you share your alpha? Well, you would share your alpha because there's a lot of people in here. People have capital. People would trade stuff. People would buy stuff. And so I'm going to think about it over the weekend a little bit. But I like the idea of like keeping it tight. And we just trade in this style more, which we've been doing. Therefore, you pay more attention to it. Therefore, when it comes time, also I'm gonna drop a button. When it comes time to talk about what do you like, what do you not like, you just naturally bring this stuff up. And you know that even if it's some weird idea about like wheat because there's a drought in Illinois, I'm still gonna look at it because that's the sort of environment we've curated, I think. So I think that's probably the direction, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do a Discord. I don't know. I'm gonna think about it over the weekend. But it inspired me because he makes a good point. The reason these hedge funds are washed is because the best analysts are trying not to lose their job. If you really think about it, that if you have a sick, comfy job at a hedge fund, you work at Citadel, whatever, more than you're trying to hit a home run, you're trying to not lose your job. And it reminds me of the central banks, right? Everybody was selling bonds. Bond yields were going crazy. And what were the central banks rotating into? Well, they're buying gold. They weren't buying Bitcoin. They're buying gold. Why were they buying gold? Well, they're buying gold because the person in charge is some employee that has a boss, or maybe has a bunch of bosses, or maybe it's a group of employees that have a bunch of bosses, and they have a really good job, and they like their job, and they like their salary, and their wife likes their salary, and their kids go to a private school, and their kids like their dad's salary, and when their oldest son turns 16, he gets a car. They have a very comfy life, right? And if you buy gold, you're going to keep your job. If you buy Bitcoin, you might lose your job. You would have lost it. They would have lost it. They would have lost their job. If they bought gold. If they bought Bitcoin, they would have lost their job. And so there's this weird like chicken egg cold start situation where these people don't want to lose their jobs. And so it makes a nice environment for us because like, yeah, Chris Camillo makes a good point. It's like he can put a fourth of his liquid net worth in, I don't know, Take-Two stock because like T Grizzly is running a sick roleplay server on GTA and it's getting really viral. And he saw some like TikTok comments. You know what I mean? Like we have less capital, we could size into smaller stuff, and you could get a lot scrappier with your ideas and your thesis for your ideas. And so you could just like take risk that a lot of these guys can't take. It also inspired me because I've been like really concerned about the HFT stuff, like Jane Street, right? Like Jane Street's making, it's like MEV. They're making like a couple pennies on every trade you take. And I'm like, how do you compete with these guys that are making money up, down, sideways? They have the algos. Well, the way you like fight the algo is you don't play the algo game. Obviously, you take longer time horizon trades on using a different part of your brain, thinking a little bit differently, and looking at it from a different angle. That's the only way you beat the algos. It's like, why would you're never going to win the fundamentals PE ratio game against these funds ever. It's not possible. You're not gonna be able to beat them. You're not gonna beat these funds. And so playing that game, so we gotta just like play a different game all day. Obviously, you gotta just play a different game. So the Camillo interview really inspired me. It fired me up. And we're not gonna beat the algos at the algo game. So why we play the algo game? We're not gonna play it. So, anyways, that was Chris Camillo. If you didn't watch it, I honestly don't really tell you to watch a lot of stuff. I would watch that one because it gives you hope as a retail trader. It makes you believe as a retail trader. It also makes you believe that this stream is going to get really big. And so at the bottom level, at our lowest level, we got to be sacred about who we let in, who we allow to be part of our community, who we allow to like be in our chat, who we allow in our airspace. 100%. Second thing is quick anecdote. This is important on the sentiment thing. I was listening to an Airmass spaces that he was on, the last Twitter spaces he was on. It was on November 10th, 2025. Okay. And so if you look back on the Bitcoin chart, November 10th, 2025. It's right here in this circle. Bitcoin had just eclipsed 126. 1010 happens. It goes down a lot. Hangs out around, like, it's like I don't know. It bounced a little bit. It's like 107K. And there's a spaces being hosted. I listened to the whole thing today just to like get in my head like what the deal is with Airmass. And it was being hosted by this guy Chimp Zoo. I think his name Chimp Zoo. Pretty smart guy. I like him. I like him. No shade in him with no shade in what I'm about to say. Zero shade in what I'm about to say. But I'm listening to this space, and remind you, if you think back, we know how this played out. But 1010 had just happened, and crypto basically from that point on down only, up until basically now. And I'm listening to them talk in this space, and the only thing everybody is saying is, in my entire life, November 10th, 2025, in my entire life in crypto, I have never seen sentiment worse. I've never seen worse sentiment. I've never seen a more miserable crypto Twitter. Has to be the bottom. We might go a couple percent lower, maybe 5K, maybe 10K. We might go a little bit lower, but I've never in my life seen worse sentiment in crypto than I see right now. And it was just fascinating to listen to it because sentiment can be signal and it can be helpful, but what people are saying on Twitter as the sole investment thesis is like really irrelevant, like deeply irrelevant, especially crowdsourcing the opinions of mostly the mentally ill is deeply irrelevant. And it was just, I don't know, it was like a humorous blast from the past to listen to these guys say bottom has to be sentiment so bad, everyone's miserable. That's when they rip it bottom. And it wasn't even close. And so the number one Camillo takeaway that relates to that is I'm pretty bulled up on trading in a silo right now. Like I'm pretty bulled up on trading in a silo and doing it our way. So anyways, market close. Let's cover it. We got a lot to get into. Also, real quick, this dude Raspberries outside the Swatch store.
Okay, what's it retailing for? 380 euros?
Like, I think 400 USD.
400 USD? Fuck.
I love Wasians.
You think we can get like 3-4 bands?
By the way,
That's definitely higher.
I paid the kid officially. I officially paid him. He's lined up for me right now. I think I'm buying 2 of them. I'll show you which one I'm buying real quick. I paid him. I fucking way overpaid this kid. I'm so butthurt about it. But I paid him for 2 of these. I paid him for 2 of these. What do you think color-wise? I paid him 3 bands for 2. One's for a friend. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, so I won't. But I paid him 3 bands for 2 to get it in hand. It's Tulip King, one or the other one. Jack, why are you freaking out? It's like, this is what they cost. I don't understand. Why is everyone freaking out? This is what they cost. It's what it costs. Yes, it is. Brother, they're $4 retail. You want to go sit in line for 3 days? He's going to wait in line for 3 nights. What's that worth? What is 3 days worth to you? This is what they cost. I mean, this is what they're selling for. 13, 15, band, 13, 15, 32, 13, 13. Did I overpay him a little bit? I think so. But he's a good kid, and he's going to bring it to me in hand, and he's a crypto kid, and I wanted it the first day for stream. So, I made a price dropped after it was revealed to not be a watch, and it was revealed to be a pocket. But I already promised the kid the money. He's hustling. He's like he doesn't even live in New York. He's like training in. So I was like, fuck it, man. The kid's a grinder. Like, I'm gonna wear it on stream. It's gonna be fresh. Is he in the pit? I don't think so. Let's fucking do it. So, anyways, that is what that is. He's a hustler. I see a hustler. I respect the hustler. That's what we do, man. You're out here grinding. You're gonna get rewarded for it. Anyways, market close right here, right now. Let us fucking get it. It was an electric day, as every day seems to be. What did you buy? What did you sell? What did you make money on? What did you lose money on? What do you like? What do you hate? What are you sidelined on? What are you looking to enter? What are you looking to exit? What? I don't know. What do you got? Bing CBRS, long hype. Wow. All in Goblin coin. Jeez. I like. Got bent over on Cerebras. Lost on VVV. Longing silver soon. I got stopped out of VVV. Yeah, it's a little weak. You're getting the hype suck right now. You're getting the hype suck right now. Nvidia 250 calls. Nice. Got wrecked on Cerebras. Dick Deep and Bloom. Short Cerebras. Lost on Intel. I could use a hype. What else? I like coming for the hostility. I like to get the take 2. You're long take 2, really? Also, if you want to share your trades and you're on YouTube and Twitter, twitch.tv/threadguy. Bitcoin Pizza. What is that? I had it on Hype Spot yesterday. Congratulations, Rectal. Who are you, bro? You're lucky at chat. The name threw me off. DigiPowerX boy. I don't know what that is. Hey, team. Need these 2. Cerebra should be 20 to 50 billion market cap. Brokey, what are you in? What else? I'm gonna look in a second. What else you got? Cooked on Cerebras. Cooked, good or bad? I entered hype at 39. Congratulations. Just closed hype longs. Congratulations. Crypto mining. Ooh, really? Is that still a thing, huh? Really? Cerebras is half the size of SanDisk right now, but they do like 500 mil of revenue, right? Annually at 50 Bs. It's like 100x. Okay, we'll get to DigiPower near the end. TG, why didn't you long hype on the news? I don't know. I woke up kind of late this morning and I was fucking out of it, and I don't know. I just didn't. I'm really. It's hard for me to be in more than one trade. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really just like trying to see this one through. We've met multiple times IRL. Really? Did we? Yeah, mic volume. I'll turn it up. Sorry. I don't understand how Lorco's Bitcoin liquidation is so high in 20x short. Cross margin. So he can pull, it's not isolated position, it's cross. So all of his positions use the same balance for each individual position. And so he could just pull endless margin to add in case of a wipe either direction. So, all right, let's get into it. If you wanted to call anything out, if you want me to look at anything, call it out. Let's get into it. The SPY closes plus 0.77%, SPX 7525. Okay, we are now about... We are 7% away from the palpable euphoria target mentioned by Citrini in the Intelligence 2028 article. Crazy. Not that far off. That was for October 26th. We are not that far off. Made $500K from Trump last year and zeroed out. Brother, I made a lot from Trump as well, more than that, and I lost a lot as well. But you live to fight another day. We wake up and live to fight another day. The SOX semi ETF closes at 52982, up 0.3. IGV, the worst thing ever, up 2.3%. Hallelujah. Looks decent. Important line here. Looks decent. Cost up 1.75. The NASDAQ up 0.5, and the Dow is up 1%, as officially eclipsed 50,000 once again. Pam Bondi. Bring her back. Rehire her. Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her back. Bring her the fuck back. Moving on. Cryptocurrency. You absolutely love to see it. I woke up this morning at 80K, and I said, dare I say Bitcoin looks good. I'll give you the good news. The good news is the chart looks amazing. The bad news is there is only one bidder in the order books. His name is Michael Saylor, and he has bought 9,000 Bitcoin today. 9,000. 8,900 times 81,600 equals $726 million. Michael Saylor has bought 9,000 Bitcoins today. 9,000. I think dividends go out today, and the Saylor bid is going to cease to exist. It couldn't even push us up higher than Wednesday highs. I don't know if that makes you bullish, if that makes you bearish. I don't really know exactly what to make of that. Pull up the 200-day EMA. SMA? I don't really do like indicators. This? It says short. It says short, brother. Here. How do you know which one's which? It's blue. It's the blue line. It's the blue. You kind of need to break that. Yeah, I don't really do indicators, but you need to break. I'm not an indicator fan. They're lagging. They're always lagging, but we can leave it on for the moment. But yes, 81,600. Look, I think the Bitcoin chart looks nice. I think it looks nice. You really, really want to see this thing pop. You know what they say, chat. There's no such thing as a what? 1, 2. There's no such thing as a what? There is no such thing as a... Look at Reddit. We'll get there. Quad top. Thank you. Zcash. I think it looks good. The problem with Zcash, I had a convo with Mando about this. The problem with Zcash is everyone just holds it on perps. OI in this thing is retarded. The whole bit is perp. So you get these like wicked moves both directions. These whipsaws both directions. But I think Zcash looks very nice. I'm sitting in it. I told you my plan. If I got to 500, I'm emptying the clip. And until then, I just sit comfy and wait patiently on the Zach trade. You know how I feel about it. I think it looks very nice. Now, the leader of today. The leader of today is having a rough 15-minute candle, but is up 13%. And you love to see this, really. Hyperliquid on the Coinbase Circle news chart starting to look very good. If you can get this thing back above like 45, beauty. You just need these days in alts. We need the VVVs 15% daily. You need the Zcash 50% daily. You need the Hyperliquid 50% daily. If we're gonna get to where we want to get to, you need these things to fucking pop. So hype looks great. Near is whatever. Silver. Does anyone enter the silver trade? I wanted to do it yesterday, but again, it's hard for me to enter multiple trades at a time. I didn't do it, and it's down a little bit, 5% today to $83. Solana, whatever. Stretch over 100 already looked. Here is copper. The very interesting chart. I have not taken it, but you're getting an ATH retest. It's a fun one. We'll get to per as well. Bonds are 10 years up 0.3, 30 years down 0.1. Gold is down about 1%, and Monero looks decent. Let's do per a look. This is the Hyperliquid DAT. Just got added to Trade XYZ, and it is really outperforming Hyperliquid. It's at all-time highs. It's up 18% today on Hyperliquid's 13%. I am very anti-digital asset treasury companies, but it looks good, I must admit. Also, this thing looks so beautiful, I think. It looks so beautiful. I've spent many, many, many hours just watching the Zcash chart over the last couple weeks, I must admit. War. The war is over, ladies and gentlemen, which we'll talk about very shortly. But China basically said, we want the war over. We don't want to pay tolls, and we're not going to give any weapons to Iran. It's over. Okay? Crude's up 1%, Brent's up 1%. The war is over. Now we've known this, but it is being priced as over. Palantir up 3% on the IGV move, and everything else defense is down. All right, semis, big tech, Sive, back-to-back mega days. Mega days. We'll talk about the war a little bit more, but Sive is up 37%. It is back above $55. Rocket Lab with another huge day, $132. Anyone in Rocket Lab, just an absolute monster. Up 7. Bloom Energy, the Chris Camillo stock. Pull up Rumble, he says. Why would I do that? Okay, the Sive, I was confused because it was up 31% yesterday. That's the same chart. Thank you. Rumble with a massive miss. We'll look at that shortly. Thank you on the Sive clarification. I was confused by that. Bloom, huge day. Nvidia, huge day. This ATH break has been a fucking clean trade. I'm not gonna lie. Up 11% now if you traded this. Really, really, really nice one. ARM up 3. Microsoft up 1%. AMD up 1%. Meta basically flat. Apple has some lawsuit news with OpenAI and had a little bit of a red day. Google down 0.5%. Amazon down 1%. Nokia down 2%. Micron down 3.5%. And the new boy on the block, Cerebras, is at $314. Anyone in this? So this is a wild one. This is a very wild one. I have a whole section dedicated to Cerebras, which we'll talk about. I think it looks decent. This thing was trading on, I mean, look what you could have gotten this thing on. It opened at like close to 400. Look at what you could have traded this thing on a Hyperliquid. You're short. Nice. I mean, look. You had infinite time to buy this on HL. Now, look, the books weren't that liquid and there wasn't that much opportunity. But, I mean, there was people buying all up in here. 200s, 230, 240, 50, 60, 70, 80. I woke up this morning and I clicked it at 295 maybe. Because for some reason I was expecting the market to just be open. What's good, Boof? I don't know. I was expecting it to like just be live. And I clicked it at 290 and I'm like, why isn't the market moving? This is weird. And I sold it. And then 5 minutes later it goes live. Whatever. So it was just like kind of a fun click. I just wanted to see. Bought 280 on HL, liquidated when it went to 230. Now it's 400. That's tough. I'm sorry, brother. I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that. This pre-market stuff is weird on HL. You gotta be very careful. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, consumer names. Figma. Big move. Beat earnings, I believe. Crush earnings. Plus 7% and plus 8.9% after hours. This is, in fact, the worst stock of all time. Take-Two Interactive. I had some big activity today. Is up 7%. Nebius Monster up 7%. Iren up a 6%. Hood had a good day, up 5%. You like to see that. Coinbase up 5%. MSTR up 5%. You really like to see that. First time I've watched you on Twitch. Been watching on YouTube for nearly a year now. What the fuck? That's awesome. Welcome, brother. If you're on YouTube or Twitch and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. Why do you hate on Figma? It just is. It's just, I don't know. It's Figma's an awesome product. It's a very bad stock though. Value. I don't trade value. I'm gonna be honest. I don't trade value. IBKR looks amazing. New all-time high. Up 3.7 today. Reddit, and a lot of people like Reddit right now. Someone in the chat was spamming it. Up 1.5. Caleb, thanks for gifting it, brother. Your take on Figma doesn't make sense. I just am not a fan of this stock's down so much I'm going to buy. It's just not the way I trade. So I don't have a real take other than chart physiognomy is horrific. I don't buy. I'm not a I'm losers average losers, you know? The market doesn't like it. I don't like it. It's pretty simple in the way. I buy strength only now. Hymns. Where is our Swatch stock? Here it is. You would be up from the moment AP was announced. You'd be up 11.5%. As a software engineer, no designers use Figma anymore. Really? What do they use? Is it true? I didn't know that was true. Is that true? That's crazy if true. Claude Design. Swatch is up 11%. And I'm just going to say, like, Chris Camillo said that the trade, there still is maybe a trade from here. And the trade is if you believe this thing is going to go mega viral over the weekend. And I'm just going to say, like, social arbitrage, I'm just going to tell you, the most viral I've ever gone on TikTok has been around the Swatch AP. Ask Caleb. Every single clip we post about the Swatch AP is 100K views on TikTok. We had a 2.5 million view clip about the Swatch. Every clip about the Swatch AP is like giga viral. All of my friends are normie friends on Instagram are posting it on their stories. There's memes. Everyone's posting the rabbit meme with the Swatch AP. Like, it's like so unbelievably viral, I think. So the one we said people would buy for 2,000 got linked back to me. That's awesome. So I think this is going to sell. I think it's going to resell for like 2 bands. I think it's going to be higher than expectations. I think it's unfathomably viral. I think everybody wants one. And I'm finna rock this motherfucker like a labubu. I'm about to wear this shit around my neck like a dog collar. So we'll see. But it's viral. They're fresh as fuck, bro. I mean, I'm telling, come on. This thing is fresh as fuck. Come on, bro. I'm putting these things on my nightstand. I'm passing them out like goodie bags. If I was really like that, like I was LeBron and my son had a birthday party, I'm putting these things in the goodie bags. Hard, brother. Come on, that shit is hard. And so we were on the call this morning talking about trading this, and me and Tulip came, we're going to buy options, but you can't even buy options on this thing. Like, I don't even know where to buy it, how to trade it, and so we're not, that's part of the reason we're not trading it. It is what it is. Also, Brokey, I looked into the Sweet Green wrap, and bro, they have 1,200 calories. That shit is fried. That is not 1,200 calories for a wrap. That thing is not going viral, Chris. I sent him a DM. I said, Chris, the macros are fried. That thing is not going viral. You're tweaking on this one, Chris. 1,200 calories. Bought one, unhealthy and too expensive. Did anyone go yesterday? Did anyone go yesterday? Like, you eat slop bowls for like healthy. That's why you eat slop bowls. They're supposed to be healthy, like salad and some chicken. I don't count calories either, but 13. You know, I gave you credit for it, Brokey. They're 1,300 calories, completely fried. As a designer, that guy's crazy. That's why Figma beat earnings. And Figma, the product is our designers. Counterparty use Figma, 100%. Okay, altcoins. Leading the way, Hype, Zcash, obviously. Uniswap is crazy. XPL, Galaxy, Aave, Tau, uninspired by the altcoin movement of today, I must admit. We'll take a look on chain. Yeah, it's a lot of a Chipotle. Like, I don't even know how you get 1,200 calories. How do you even get 1,200 calories in a wrap? It's like unbelievable. 1,200 calories is a lot, brother. Sugar sauce, the dressing, yeah, that'll get you, because I'm like a healthy food with dressing kind of guy. They will get you, bro. Are you gonna listen to Market Bubble interview with VVV? I'll listen to clips after the fact. All right, real quick. RKC, dead, deserving. Cards, 35, not bad. Nice candle. Asteroid, how? 123, hanging on by a fucking thread. By a ever-loving goddamn thread. Scam Altman, 800K. Troll. Wow. Would you look at that? That's, bro, bottom of the range is your last time to enter. I love this guy. Dude, I hope you make a mill. I swear, I hope you make a mill. Utia, 40. Check useless. I have seen Bunk Guy back. Nice. 70 mil. Did you look at Cat Coin? What else does it do with this 1 mil? And then last but not least, we have Brent oil is fine. And the BTI is fine. So it looks decent. Trump is in China right now with the rest of the world, as we know. And they have spoken about Iran a little bit. First thing is vessels are starting to get through. I don't think a lot. Nowhere near where we started pre-war, but vessels are getting through. Both countries, China and the US, agreed that Iran could have a nuclear weapon. And one of the countries getting through is Japan, which is significant. US ally, really, really, really reliant on imports. It is definitely significant that Japan is getting through. So Trump is in China right now. And as expected, what we talked about yesterday, kind of a nothing burger. The two biggest announcements are, one, NVIDIA is selling H100s to China, which has already been announced. And there was this fund, funny enough, H200, excuse me. Sorry. There was this fund that went viral yesterday, 2 days ago. May 13th was what? Yesterday. And they opened a short on NVIDIA, saying they believe NVIDIA has a significant China problem. Basically saying that the China business went to zero. They're not going to be able to sell to China. China's not buying. And as a result of the China problem, they're short NVIDIA. Hasn't aged very well. So, U.S. officials have reportedly approved around 10 Chinese firms to buy NVIDIA H200 chips. Approved buyers include Baba, Alibaba, JD, Tencent, and ByteDance, with Lenovo and Foxconn approved as distributors. How much is an H200? 40 bands. How bad? 4T bans. And I mean, look at this, bro. They're treating Trump like a fucking hero in China. Look at these videos, they're nuts. Look at the kids, man. They're jumping up and down like it's fucking. Look at this. Bro. I mean, this is awesome. I'm sorry. I know they're forced to do it. Jump or die. I know. It is awesome, though. It just looks good. I don't know. It looks good. It looks good. Trump loves it. You know, like Trump is basking in it. Trump is basking in it, bro. Does not look good. I'd be like, damn, what do you mean? If you enter a foreign country with a foreign president and they're glazing you at a level you've never been glazed. It's like it looks I mean, this is wild. I mean, bro, it's like a 2-minute video. I mean, they're cheering like. This is like if you walked LeBron into like an elementary school like assembly and like LeBron runs out. You know those like videos where like Ayo and Teo come out and like play like Watch Me Whip at the like a middle school like pep rally? Like this is what this looks like, bro. Crazy. And so this is Trump in China. So President Trump had a good meeting with Xi of China. The two sides discussed ways to enhance economic cooperation between our two countries, including expanding market access for American businesses in China and increasing Chinese investment into our industries. Leaders from many of the United States' largest companies joined a portion of the meeting. The president also highlighted the need to build on Congress in ending the flow of fentanyl persecutors into the United States, as well as increasing Chinese purchases of American agricultural products. The two sides agreed that the Strait of Hormuz must remain open to support the free flow of energy. President Xi also made clear China's opposition to the militarization of the strait and any effort to charge a toll for its use, and he expressed interest in purchasing more American oil to reduce China's dependence on the strait in the future. Both countries agreed that Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And so they are in agreement to shut this Iran shit down. Okay? They're in agreement to shut this Iran shit down. This is the analogy. It's like when the two divorced parents, you get such bad grades on your report card that the two divorced parents like bound forces and come together to be like, all right, we agree that we gotta get your grades up. You gotta lock the fuck in. Okay? It's like you got in so much trouble in school that like, no. We agree. We're combining forces. We're in agreement that we need to figure out this behavior problem. And then you're really fucked. Okay? It's like we agree our child is actually retarded and we kind of hate you. And it's time to lock in. Okay? And that's what just happened. And so yes, it is all talk, but that is, I don't know. We'll see. I agree. It feels like China doesn't care that much. I also agree that I think Trump has done a tremendous job at negating the spiral out of control of oil prices. He just has. I'm sorry. He just has. Unbelievable job. It should have happened many times. It didn't happen. And we now exist in a spot where he has a lot of flexibility. Stock market is like so expensive. He has a lot of flexibility. So regardless of what you think about how we got here, we have gotten here. Also, does this give China a free pass for Taiwan? Where's the post about that? I have a tweet about this because yes, it does. Oh, did they delete it? Oh, wait. It does sort of. fuck, I don't know where the tweet went, but they were sort of saying like they can't stop China from moving on Taiwan. Is this it? And you know what that means, right?
We know where they
I think this is it. Like, let's watch.
stand, and I think they know where we stand.
Do you think China wants to invade Taiwan?
Well, I think China's preference is probably to have Taiwan willingly, voluntarily join them. In a perfect world, what they would want is some vote or a referendum in Taiwan that agrees to fold in. I think that's what they would prefer. Ultimately, it's featured prominently in President Xi's mandate. In the time he's been in office, he's made clear that what they call reunification, that's what they call it, is something that has to happen at some point. We think it would be a terrible mistake to force that through force or anything of that nature. There would be repercussions for that globally, not just from the United States. And we kind of leave it there. That sort of ambiguity is what I think has defined the way we characterize this issue. And the reason being is strategic ambiguities. We don't want to see conflict. We don't want to see something disruptive happen, because I think it would be very disruptive for the world and for both countries. I know the other topics. We know where.
I think China takes Taiwan until goes on a straight line to like multiple trillions. That's what I think the trade is. It goes straight up. It's like an American-based fab. Because because TSMC produces all the chips. All of them. And it's in Taiwan. And if China takes Taiwan, then like I think there's like a reason that Taiwan wants to take China. Yeah, well, I want to take $1 billion from the central bank. Okay, like I want to date Madison Beer. You know, it's like, okay, what does it mean to want? You know, Taiwan wants to take China. Yeah, so would I if I was Taiwan, but that's not how this works. Okay. Now, the cleanest trade, I think, if that happens, is Intel goes up in a straight line forever. Because we know that there's very few fabs that produce their own chips. And Intel is in the United States of America. And at least how I understand it right now, the second it feels like it's gonna happen, this thing just goes up only, like up only. And even if they willingly concede to Taiwan, and so I don't think it's gonna happen. That's why I don't have a position on poly market. But I actually no, I don't not think it's gonna happen. I have no fucking idea if it happens or not. I don't understand Chinese politics. I'm not deep enough in that realm. But what I do know is if it does happen, you just close your eyes and just put your money in this thing and just fucking let it go. You could maybe argue short Nvidia, but I don't know about that as much. That's I don't short sell. And so it could happen. It could happen. This is absolutely one of those rare events Chris discussed yesterday that we should be prepared for. And so, by the way, what we're going to do on maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, we're going to do an entire stream where I have like 25 sub 5% scenarios, natural disasters, world wars, invasions, death of important people, whatever. And we're going to figure out what we're going to do in every scenario, the whole stream. Aliens, whatever. I don't know, robots, like all of it. We're gonna come up with a trade for all of it, and just to have it. I think it's gonna Kahoot? No. We're gonna come up with a trade for all of it. And so I'm excited. But I do know that much. That I feel like there's a reason the US and Trump have been going after Intel so hard. G, both China and the US stand to gain for cooperation. See anything else. This is funny. Breaking. Marco Rubio fascinated by Chinese decor. This is good shit right here.
holding you back.
He's really fired up. I love that. That's my president. By the way, that is my fucking president. 2028. And last but not least, ran to the CEOs, asked how the meetings were going. Elon said it was wonderful and many good things happening. Tim Cook gave the peace sign into a thumbs up. Jensen Huang said meetings went well and Xi and Trump are, quote, incredible. Where's Vance? In the cuck chair, bro. I told you this. They're cucking Vance. They don't want Vance to win. I don't know why. They don't want Vance. Maybe they don't think he can win. He's not allowed. Vance only gets trotted out when somebody from the Trump admin has to take an L. It's like, okay, cool. We're going to send you to Pakistan for a negotiation where you have absolutely 0% chance to win. You're going to go be the face of Pakistani negotiations. And then he's like, negotiations didn't go well. And everyone's like, fuck JD Vance. And it's like, what? What do you mean? Fuck JD Vance. He had no chance. Well, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to fucking do it. So JD Vance is probably interviewing Jake Paul somewhere in I don't know, in Idaho or some shit. But they told him, yeah, let me relax. But anyways, all right, big news today is we have 22 minutes before Airmass. And so I'll probably save some of the crypto stuff. The big news today is, or one of the biggest news is Cerebras IPO. And it was a very fascinating one because once again, Hyperliquid strikes well, very well, very, very, very well. And they had pre-IPO on this thing. Now look, pre-IPO stuff is risky. Is it CBR? Oh, wait, is this Loracle? Wait, send Loracle first. Before we look, send Loracle dashboard. Send Loracle dashboard real quick, and then we'll look at Cerebras. Send Loracle dashboard. I want to see. Also, YouTube, Twitter, and you want to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. All right, let's see. Also, Brokey, I love that you like kick it in here a lot now. Here it is. Thank you. All right, here is the Loracle position. He's down 5 mil. Back down to 36 mil P&L all time. His Bitcoin short has flipped red. Minus 45K. Ton short flipped green. Plus 10K. Hype short, he's down 3 mil. Gold short, he's down 300K. SanDisk short, he is up 1.2 million on it now. And on his Cerebras short that he entered at 333 with $12 million of margin on 5X. Oh my God. It's like a 60. Let's start botting your views. No. We intentionally want to keep this low key. He is short $60 million of Cerebras at 333. And he's currently up 476,000 United States dollars. Position size is 60 mil. Margin 12.5. Crazy. He is 12.5. What do you mean? Are you saying I'm retarded or are you retarded? Oh, maybe I am. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. It's me. I got it. It is me. Many such cases. So he's played it very well. He's short from 333, I believe. Yeah, 333. CBRS. He's the top trader on it right now. He's up 500K. The entry is like, let's mark it. Actually, let's mark it on TradingView. Why not? Is he losing money on anything? Yeah, he's down 3 mil on hype. He's down 3 mil on Hyperliquid. Horizontal line 333. And let's mark it. Loracle 12 mil short. Yeah, he was up a lot on hype before the news of Hyperliquid and Coinbase, but that's how the game goes. So, okay. This is a fascinating one. So Cerebras IPOs today, current market cap is, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 billion, 50 billion, somewhere in that range. Let's actually check. Let's go. I've been like a Google Finance. Is it more, really? Damn, I was liking it, but it's cooked. Here. That's the AI. Yeah, this thing fucking... I've been saying I like this, but it's just ass. 66.5, 66.7, basically 67 billion. Crazy. Basically 67 billion. And you had a lot of time to fill this on Hyperliquid, which is really cool. Like, again, the pre-IPO markets are finicky and weird, but you had a lot of time to fill this. Hyperliquid win for sure. This thing has 300 mil volume, 56 mil open interest. And so here's the math. Time of this tweet, Cerebras is bonding shares around 350. I don't know what the first tick trade was on open market. Like, I don't know, on candle here. I think around 350. Yeah, 350. 385 first tick, you say. I saw different quotes all over the place, but in that range. At the time of this tweet, Cerebras is bonding shares around 350. Their FY 2025 revenue was $510 million. So they made $510 million 2025, and it's basically all from OpenAI contract. NVIDIA's latest price of sales is roughly 25x. At 350 a share, Cerebras is around 107 billion, based on Reuters FD estimates, which put PS relative to 2025 at 200x. 200x. That is crazy. So you could put NVIDIA at like 8 times from here to trade at the same price of sales. That would mean Cerebras needs to make about 4.3 billion in revenue this year to bring its price of sales to NVIDIA's 25x. Or NVIDIA needs to be worth a lot more. This bulk seems to be expectations from the $12 billion OpenAI MRA that came online earlier this year. TLDR, this entire IPO structurally reduces the price, reduces to pricing the odds that the OpenAI MRA is fulfilled and converts to revenue ASAP versus delayed. And a long time horizon agrees Cerebras being a killer company meeting inference demand, but current pricing is highly fragile to OpenAI commitments. So the main thing I wanted to see from this IPO is like, I thought it was a pretty good test of liquidity on how can the rest of the market hold up with this, $100 billion basically in volume suck hitting the market. And we had some red days, right? I mean, Intel is down 4 today. Micron down 3.5. Q's got hit. Nokia down 1.7. There was, I think there was definitely, because it went online after the fact. NVIDIA was super green. But there definitely was some noticeable, like, red candles from when this thing went online. But we had, like, half a trading day. I don't think you really have enough of a sample size yet to make much of a conclusion on it. I clicked around in it a little bit just because I want to be part of history. But I have no real edge on this. I think it is very expensive. And the only reason I'd be trading this is if I really believed in the company. And I don't know anything about the company. So other than what we've covered on stream, I know very little on the OpenAI contract. I know what they do. They make the fucking waffle chips. But I don't have any like informational social arbitrage edge on Cerebras. So I'm going to pay attention just for the sake of like, look, again, it's a good feeler to test out liquidity in the market while we get ready for everything else that's coming. Bubble Boy not into it. I think he was pretty anti, actually. Let's check around a couple tweets. Does anyone here have like a strong directional trade either way on it? Yeah, he sold, I think. I'm strong short. Trade public or no? Send me your dash if it is. If you don't want to share, it's fine. Yeah. He tweeted he's out, but couple tweets here. Arm and SoftBank said I've tried to buy Cerebras were rejected. Yeah, Cerebras shares indicated open at 400. I think 385 sounds right for first tick, something like this. Hey, TJ, just got off work. What I missed? Not that much. We're just looking at Cerebras right now. Just finished looking at market close. With Cerebras, this is a good one from last night. This is a good one. With Cerebras listing in less than 12 hours, it's currently trading at a 57% premium to the $185 open price on Trade XYZ. Funding is mostly normalized. Open interest is at 20 mil. At 56.4 FTV at offering, it ranks as the largest IPO since 2022 and the 10th most expensive IPO of all time. Cerebras at $185 trades at 195th the full valuation of NVIDIA. 117th at both Micron and SK Hynix, but trades at over 4x price to sales multiple of NVIDIA. It's now 8x. More than 7x compared to Micron and 17x compared to SK Hynix. Yeah, it's expensive. I mean, it's expensive. It's fucking expensive. It's very expensive. This is funny too. Former nightclub promoters and real estate agents I grew up with in NYC now talking about memory and the Cerebras IPO. Same guys lost a metric fuckloads of money on shitcoins and NFTs a few years ago. Probably nothing. This is cool that Yahoo Finance has the Trade XYZ pair listed. And there's a deep dive. I might skip this for now and come back to it. Jesus. My God, DNAP. What the fuck is it? Let's skim it. It's crazy. Intensa raises IPO price to 150, 160. Traded 2x that. I have a theory they kept upping the price as Hyperliquid ticked up. The higher it ticked up on pre-IPO Hyperliquid, they just kept upping the price. Up. They kept upping it. It's ridiculous. Broke, you don't think so? Yeah, 200x price to sales. Most expensive. What is like MU price of sales? 14.5. Intel has gotten expensive recently. 10. My God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What about like ARM? 45. Thread mentioned on Market Bubble. Forgot they were live. I want to see when Eric Voorhees is on. Oh, no way.
About anything that anybody else is doing in the investing world. Like it could be as foreign to me as like
they got a
anything
chat.
you could imagine. And so I've had like no friends in my world, right? Like I had no one to relate to. And then all you guys step in and you're doing this crypto stuff. And I'm like, okay, it sucked for me.
28K
I was
viewers.
like, dude, what the hell are they doing? But then on the flip side, I'm like, dude, if all of these effers got involved with equity
Chat, we really
trading,
do this.
my edge would like go down meaningfully because these kids are young, they're sharp, they're using algos, like everything that I'm doing, they're doing, but they are relentless. They're doing it the way I did it a long time ago, where I just didn't sleep. And I'm like, I don't know that I need millions to tens of millions of those kids competing with me as, you know, attention arb traders, social arb traders, whatever you want to call it in the equity market, because my competition in an equity market is freaking nothing. And people are like, how did you generate 70% returns for 18 years? Well, I mean, the new audit's not out yet. It will be soon. I'm waiting on Jack to give it to me. I think it's going to be roughly 70% on 18 years
straight, bro.
And I'm like, you don't understand how weak
bro.
the competition is in equity markets. You don't understand.
Bro, this dude turned 20K into 80 million.
You really don't understand how much
He's
of
the
a
GOAT.
herd
He's a fucking
mentality is.
I just want to hear their take on it
in
real
the
quick.
space that I've been working in. Yeah, they're smart, technically.
I'll get off in a second.
Yes,
Hold
they
on.
have
We'll go back to
access to
Cerebras.
tens of billions of dollars in infinite resources technically, but none of that matters. They don't know what the hell they're doing. And so, you know, I just started talking about this recently about these crypto traders coming into my space because I knew it was inevitable, and it actually is starting. And I'm more happy about it than mad because truthfully, like, my life obsession is to like
Let me lock in. Airmass is
fully
here.
democratize the investing landscape.
Hey, Luke. They're I'll come back to this. Airmass is here though. I want to let him in. All right, I'm gonna let him in, Luke. Anyways, let's keep Sophie Rain turn Sophie Rain turned $0 to 83 mil. That's lit. Yeah, 200x price of sales. Damn. So it's really expensive. Wow, is Loracle about to just print on this? Wow. It's really expensive. What's it? It's 58 times larger than NVIDIA's B200. Has 900,000 compute cores. Wow. Bro, SanDisk price of sales was 0.75 a year ago. Is that true? Holy fuck. Wow. 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 They're about a Series A of 27 million from Benchmark Foundation Capital and Eclipse in 2016. 2018, Elon tried to acquire. November 21, they raised a Series F at 4 billion. Wow. Series G at 8.1 billion in 25. Yo, Banks glazing me right now. I can't listen because they're in the Zoom. What's he saying? What's he saying? What's he saying? That's my guy. Timestamp it. I can't listen because they're in this. I don't want to play the audio of them in the Zoom. All right, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna get up real quick. I can't play music because they're in the Zoom talking. I don't want to dox their audio, and then I'll be back in 30 seconds. We're gonna have Airmass on. Then he's not gonna be on for as long as Chris. Chris was really long. He's gonna be on for 40 minutes, and then we're gonna run the rest of the stream. We have a crypto, Hyperliquid, Coinbase, all types of shit to talk about. BRB. All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. I couldn't do music because they're in the Zoom. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tweet that he's on. Airmass is one of my favorites, man. Quick context. He was one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls ever. I think he did incredible on check TG. He's not in. He's not in. He didn't request. He's got to request again. He's one of the biggest Bitcoin bulls ever. Just like a diehard Bitcoin is the greatest asset of all time. And he took a bunch of time off. He was off Twitter for like 6 months. He comes back on Twitter, makes his first tweet back, calls Paul Tudor Jones a retard for being bearish. Second tweet back, publicly stacks Meta to full port Micron. Okay. And the price at which he full ported Micron can be seen. Yeah, he's definitely one of the tweeters of all time. It can be seen right here on our yellow line, which is frequently referenced as the quote Airmass entry. And he is up 50%, assuming he bought on the day that he returned and tweeted, and it was spot. So he's kind of a lunatic. Like, he's nuts. The guy's nuts. I'm personally a pretty big fan of his. And yeah, he's one of the tweeters of all time. I don't know exactly what. He had some technical difficulties. Hold on, he'll be on in a minute. Let's I'll tap back into the bank stream real quick.
Thinking about putting together a hostile takeover of Take-Two Interactive. I'm like, Take-Two Interactive? What
Did that happen?
Do they make video games? He's like, yeah, they make NBA 2K and they make Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, they crushed.
And I was like, what is a hostile takeover? We don't even do that. He's like, this will be my first. By the way, the hostile takeover has been shelved now. The stock went up too much. So like, I don't know if you know how a hostile takeover works, but you have to kind of acquire like, I don't know, like 5% of the company silently. And then like announce your bid. And you really want it when it's like Snapchat right now, when the stock is just going down, 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 and you can rally support that a change needs to be made. So he was raising, you know, $300-400 million to do this.
All right, cool. He's
But
back.
the stock went up. But once the stock popped, then there was like,
Luke, he's back. Oh, fuck. He's back. Let me know. Let me know when he's good. But all right, I'm gonna let him in right now, or I'm gonna be on with him in just a second. If you are watching on YouTube or Twitter and you'd like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. And if you're already on Twitch, then you're in for a treat, man. I think you're in for a treat with this guy. He's one of my favorites. Like, he's not Chris Camillo, okay? It's like a completely different thing. But he binked the Micron trade, and so you just deserve to. You bink it that hard, you just like deserve a spot on the stream. I'm gonna read his tweet to him, by the way, when he comes on. I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna read his tweet to him. I'm gonna read it back to him. It's one of my favorite tweets ever. How much size did he enter with? Unclear. Let me find it. Here it is. Getting him to tweet it right now. 1 sec. Oh, let's go. He's a rare one, man. He has the Twitter Spaces in like a year. His last public appearance, I think, was a year ago. I fucking like this guy, man. It took me a long time to get a follow back from the Airmass. I'm gonna be honest. Let me know when he's good, Luke. Also, we're only an hour and 20 in the stream, and I'm going at least 3 hours today. So I will. He's gonna be out for 30 or so, and then we're gonna run a long show. So be prepared. We got to do Hyperliquid intensely. Intensely. We got to do Circle. We got to do a bunch of stuff. So strap in. We got a long stream today. Also, in the meantime, TG trying to compete. I don't compete with anyone. I'm here to make $10 million trading liquid markets. I don't compete with anyone, brother. I'm here to make $10 million, and hopefully you could do it in the meantime. With me. Luke, is he ready? Because I'm ready. Zcash looks ready too. I don't have that many, like, I'm kind of just gonna raw dog this one. Raw dog this one, by the way. He's good to go. All right, let's get it. Airmass, my guy. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitter and you like to chat, twitch.tv/threadguy. This is my guy. I'm not gonna lie. I really like this guy. So let us get it right now. Fuck, I lost the zoom. Yo.
Hey, how are you, buddy?
I'm good, man. It's nice to meet you. Can you see me and everything?
I see you perfectly, yeah.
Welcome to the stream, dude. It's an absolute, it's a pleasure to have you on, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, be interesting chat.
Yeah, I got a lot. I got a lot for you, but I think a good amount of my stream viewers are familiar with you. Maybe half. The other half isn't. And so I want to just set the tone on who you are, and I'm gonna read you, but also them, a tweet of yours from like two weeks ago. Okay, you were off Twitter. By the way, you were noticeably off Twitter for a while. I was wondering what happened, where you went. You come back. First tweet back is you call Paul Tudor Jones a retard for being bearish, who has recently flipped bullish and bought stocks higher than what you tweeted. And then your second tweet reads as such, if you don't mind. It's been more than 6 months since I last posted here. In that time, I crossed oceans, countries, stayed deep in jungles, mountains, and entire continents. There were weeks where I barely looked at a screen, days where markets, earnings, politics, and the endless noise of timelines felt like they belonged to another world entirely. I spent time in places where nobody cared or knew about stock tickers, market caps, or what the Fed was going to do next week. Places where people wake up with the sun, where storms roll in without warning, where the jungle at night is louder than any city on earth. When you completely detach from the machine for long enough, you come back seeing things differently, simpler, more obvious. You stop overcomplicating. You stop looking for 10,000 variables and narratives. Sometimes the answer is just sitting there directly in front of you. So when I came back to the markets and started looking through everything again, one thing that immediately stood out to me above all else, I swapped everything, including my position in Meta, straight into Micron, all in. Because from where I'm sitting, after months away from the noise, it feels almost absurdly obvious where this is going. Micron is the next NVIDIA. As for Bitcoin, nothing has changed. I never sell. Still holding every Bitcoin I bought from 1K all the way up to 120K. I think 120K for one Bitcoin is a sweet deal, and I am pleased with those buys. Absolute cinema. And the day you tweeted this, I marked the chart with the Airmass line on Micron, which I might be off here, but assuming you bought right when you tweeted, which you probably didn't, the entry I have marked is 519.11, and Micron is now up 50% in like the 10 days since you came back to Twitter and you made that tweet. So, I mean, dude, welcome back. It's good to have you back. Do you actually trade better after time off? Like, what went into this? What did you do for 6 months? How did you come back with a clear head? Like, talk to me.
Well, I actually I managed to get in lower under 500, like between like 450 and 470. And I just was busy building a position, and I tweeted like a couple of days later, maybe. It was moving pretty fast. But yeah, it's not. I don't know about this thing about being, maybe I exaggerate a little bit about being with a clear head or all that, because I'm kind of always with a clear head, and I think that the secret to trading, right, is not to trade. Okay, that's the secret. And interesting enough, because I actually checked out some of your episodes, and I saw this guest that you have. I can't remember his name right now. Chris something.
Yesterday,
right? And
Chris Camillo.
Oh, Chris. Oh, that was yesterday. Actually.
It was yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I actually watched it, and I was like, wow, that episode left me so anxious, because the guy is like, he is like doing so much work. In other words, he's obviously no doubt very successful, right?
Yeah,
and no doubt what he's doing works. And I'm not criticizing at all what he's doing, but I'm just saying, like, holy shit, like reading like comments under every TikTok post, going to a store to chat with the staff and the manager about some salad wrap, and like running like a whole network of people to do channel checks, and like I was like, holy shit, this is really so much work. I'm like I could never do this, man. I could never. I mean, in other words, it's like you're glued to the screen, right? And you are like just like, dude. I mean, it's really like a serious full-time endeavor, right? And so no doubt he's super successful, probably a lot more successful than me. I mean, whatever. But the point is that um, I'm here to say that you can, with a different approach, you can have, the same or perhaps even greater success doing almost nothing at all. Okay, without doing all that daily grind, which to me, I would just like, I wouldn't be able to handle what he's doing. I could never. I know there's a lot of guys, right, that are like glued to the screen, like especially in the community and in crypto, and a lot of traders just glued to the screen all the time, watching charts all day long, 5-minute candles, whatever. I mean, that is, it doesn't have to be that way, right? It doesn't have to be that way. And look, I post a lot of things. I kind of disappeared last November because I was going through all these things. I mean, I just kind of like took off, and I'm not really going to get into it because it's kind of like, a lot of personal issues. But the point is that like I wasn't there for a while, right? But everything that I kind of like the big moves, I post them publicly, right? So you can look at anything, live as it happens. Like I would post like I took this position or I took that position. So if we look at let's say the meta trade, right? So I went into that at the 2022 bottom, right? Where it was obvious, absolutely obvious, right? And safe, right? Because risk management is everything. And we're gonna talk about that too, right? Risk management, because that's everything. And so I carried that position with like, like I don't know, about 4.5x leverage or something like that.
Whoa.
Well, it was the bottom. It was so cheap, right?
It's
And
fine.
it
Fix
was
it
just
easier.
going up, in a straight line. So there were, I've kind of added on the way up. So it became maybe like like a 5x levered position because it just kept going up in a kind of a straight line, right? So with virtually like no pullbacks until like like 200 or something, right? So if you look at that, right? So I built the position at 90, right? And it went to 800, like 800 or so, and I didn't sell, whatever. And then I ended up getting out at around like something like 680 or around there, because I saw Micron, right? So if you look at that result, right? So let's just take, I don't know, let's just take 4x. Let's not, or 5x. Let's just with 4x, right? So from 90 to the 680, that's about 7.5x return, right? With the leverage, right? That takes it to about 30 to 35x,
Oh,
right?
man.
So now, okay. If you were a trader with just, I don't know, let's say 100K, okay, which most people can get access to. Anybody can get access to 100K. I don't care. I mean, take out I don't know, some credit card, business loan. Anyone, even if you don't have, you can gain access, right? So 100K, let's just say you have 100K. So 30, 35x. So let's just say you turn 100K into 3.5 million in about 3 years, right? So I believe that beats Chris's returns, annual returns, doing nothing at all, right? Without that grind, without that you know, he loves it. I mean, again, I'm not criticizing because everyone has their own. Look, it's all about getting the ball in the hoop, right? It's all about scoring the goal, right? So it doesn't really matter how you do it, and
100%.
so it's just I'm sharing another perspective. I'm not here to criticize anyone because he's obviously very successful and he loves doing it. And so there might be other people who love doing it, but there are maybe many other people who would feel like me, be like, this is a serious grind. I just can't handle it. Like, it's just too much for me, right? No doubt it's a lot of work, right? And so this very passive approach, okay, if done right, can beat the very active approach. And I really doubt that the majority of traders who are even successful traders can beat that, you know, beat 35x in 3 years. That's very unlikely. And do that with size. See, because size also matters. And this is also another aspect about going all in, right? People probably interpret it like some kind of reckless daredevil move when it's in fact the complete opposite, right? The reason I'm going all in is for safety, right? It's that, in other words, there's this illusion that, oh, okay, I have to be in multiple positions to diversify, right? Because it's safer. It's not safer. It's less safe. Okay. But you got to, of course, pick the right asset, right? You have to pick the right asset.
You got to be
And
right. Yeah. Yeah. That's the
yeah,
thing.
but it's not, it's not just, you know, it's not just about being, there's certain things like they say, okay, there's no such thing as a sure thing in trading. Like there's no sure thing, there's no sure bet. I kind of disagree. That there are positions that you can take that are a sure thing, because here's how I was looking at it, right? And tell me if you agree. So if you take Meta, right? I mean, like everyone in the world uses it, right? Like I think 6 billion people out of 8, if not all 8, I mean, everyone interacts with Meta products, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and a bunch of others. I mean, the moat that this company has, and it's a massive business, right? It's just like they're printing money. The revenue is absolutely insane. The numbers are staggering, right? This is a massive, massive business, right? And so that's safe, right? Nothing is going to happen with a company like Meta, right? And this aspect of diversification, like for example, let's say you own a business, right? So like for example, your podcast is a business, right? Well, do you have 3 other podcasts under different brands to diversify, or you're just focused on this one business that you're doing? One, right? So I used to have a business. I used to run a business. I just had one business. I didn't try to open 3 others to diversify. And in fact, if I did, I would be totally screwed because I wouldn't be laser focused as I need to be on building my one business. And I would just divert my attention to all these other things. And it would all fall apart and unravel, right? So why is it that when you own a business, right, it's okay to be all in, and not okay to be all in at like a massive company with management that is better than me and you, better than most people. I mean, these are very competent people with a proven track record. They know how to run a company. They know how to build a company better than me, better than you.
Can I interrupt
better
you
than
just to say, every day we start this stream with an intro, and it's this video, and the voiceover is Michael Saylor saying, how many chairs are you sitting on? Are you all in on the chair? You put on one pair of glasses, you got one pair of AirPods, you're looking at me through one screen. It's the exact we played every single morning. Are you all in on the chair? We play. You've heard it. Surely you've heard it. That
Yeah,
speech.
but sure, yeah, but what he's saying is a little bit different. The nuance to what he's saying is a little bit different because he's kind of saying like the message is a little bit different here. What I'm talking about is literally the practical reality of a business, right? Because the Bitcoin, crypto and things like that. There's no like I'm really good at stocks because I can interpret the data. I can interpret what I can understand the business, what it's doing, how it's being, who's using it. It's very difficult to even with Bitcoin. It's like there's no metrics. So even though I think Bitcoin is like going to infinity because of just its design, right? But I can't tell you like, key inflection points or whatever. It's just pure supply and demand, like really pure supply and demand, nothing else that's driving the price, right? Whereas with a business, there's so many other variables that you can form like a very concise, you can basically like you can see where it's going and you could see what you're buying and what it's going to do, right? So when you see, so because look, before Meta had that crash in 22, it was already like considered a great stock. It was an amazing company. Like all the fund managers were like telling me, "Oh, you should buy Meta. It's so great." So it was so amazing, uh, at $400 or $500 before it went to, dropped to 88. The business hasn't changed. I mean, they just had like like they had to write off like some bad investments in VR, right?
Yes.
And that was just like a one-time thing. That the underlying business was the same business, right? So that makes it safe, and from those levels, right? This is what you can say is a sure bet, right? Because it is not possible. Okay, you're effectively not taking any risk buying that in those conditions at that price. You might be taking some risk, with very high margin because there could be some unforeseen volatility. You can get shaken out of your position, like if you go, degenerate with margin. But let's say if you're taking modest margin, like let's say 2x, or you're not taking any risk because the company is not going out of business. The company is so deeply intertwined into everyone's lives. It's a sure bet. Okay, this is not like a salad wrap in a restaurant. Okay, which is, who the hell knows, what's going to happen with that company? It's a totally different animal, right? It's a completely different situation we're talking about. So in this case, when it's at those levels, okay, and that is, again, that's part of the risk management, is that size matters, right? And you want to be able to go all in on this one good, safe thing, right? That is like completely mispriced, rather than like have like a whole bunch of positions and then inevitably, look, I've tried that before. Like that's kind of how I started out, just buying like this thing, that stock. Oh, someone mentioned something about this, and your neighbor said that, and your friend told you about this company. You're buying this, you're buying that before, and you're completely losing discipline. You're losing risk because you can't possibly be like because you're like just kind of throwing things at the wall to see what sticks, because you can't possibly fully understand these businesses and these companies, and you're just like buying into all these different things one after another, and eventually like you just severely underperform because
Fair.
inevitably
Fair.
a bunch of those positions will not perform or blow up, and even if you have some big winners, but those big winners are, let's say, 5 or 10% of your portfolio, you've severely underperformed rather than focusing on this one thing that is really going to perform and understanding it fully, staying with it, and and it has to be safe enough to go all in. Okay, there's no distractions. It's an incredible asset. It just only has upside, and you're all in. And so
So
you're not
on the
day one.
all-in point, you bink Meta, you obviously bink Bitcoin very well. I think 1700 was your entry, 2017. I think you tweeted, and you come back 6-month hiatus, and you publicly full pour, at least via your tweets, Micron at all-time highs. And you not only full pour Micron, but basically every red candle you're posting, it's free. Like if you're not buying it, 800, 700, 600, you're a retard. Like it is like the freest, most guaranteed trade I've ever made in my entire life. And so how and why do you get there?
My question would be is how does someone not get there? Okay, like how they like it is. I have never seen a cheaper tech stock in my life. Like it is mind-boggling. When I saw it, I was like, I can't. I mean, I'm like, is this real? How is this even possible? Like, how is the market giving people an opportunity to buy this? Like, how? Even now, like, it's just sitting there, like, and the thing is that this whole efficient market thing about how like, oh, everything's priced in is complete nonsense. Like, for example, look, when Lehman blew up in 2008, right? The market didn't fall, okay, for 3 days. For 3 days, the market just wouldn't budge, right? So before like the biggest meltdown in like decades, right? So anybody had the opportunity and plenty of time to position for a massive short, okay, just by looking at things. Like the market was just literally giving people 3 days to open a massive short to make a fortune. And like, why didn't it just crater like right away? It took
Did you trade
3
that?
days. I didn't trade that. But that's what happened, right? At that time, what's mind-boggling is that he had 3 days to position for that. It's like, why was the market offering that? That is just like, it took 3 days for the market to digest and react, right? And so things are mispriced all the time. Things are not. So in this case, like, not only is Micron making like insane amounts of money, is the growth is staggering, right? They grew revenue like, I don't know, something like 400% in a year. Like a company that size to grow revenue 400%, and they can't even come close to supplying all the orders. They're like barely can, like they're maybe supplying half of demand that they have. Like the moment you hear like the company literally their biggest problem is they can't supply enough product, okay, you already know, right, that's like, okay, like, right, that should get your attention. Like their biggest problem is they can't supply enough, okay? And it's not because of mismanagement, like for example, like their factory's broken or anything like that. They just literally don't physically have the capacity to supply enough. So you hear that, and then you're like, and you look at the margin, and it's like, holy shit! It's like these margins are insane, like it's approaching 60%, and then memory prices will just keep going up. And so not only you have a super profitable business, but you have rapid growth, which is you would almost never see a company that's like the only company that did this was Nvidia, that was massive, that grew at the speed of a startup, which was incredible to see.
Damn.
Right. So it's like when you, this kind of thing, like it's like it just I almost like thought that this, okay, are the numbers fake? Like what is going on here? Like are they cooking the books? Like what's going on? Like something
They cooking the books.
Or just I'm just like what is like am I missing something here? Like what is going on? How can it be so cheap?
Why did it take you so
Right.
long to find it? Like in the grand scheme of price going up, you bought it at all-time highs.
Well, because I wasn't even near a computer for like at least 6 months, right? I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't trading or anything. So I'm not like very active in markets, I just kind of take a position. But in this case, right, and also the fact that like they have customers signing 5-year agreements because everyone is worried about cyclicality, right? So of course you come to them and you say, well, we need some chips, and they're like, well, listen, if you want some allocation, I mean, we don't have enough, but maybe we can help you out if you sign a 5-year agreement. You're going to buy minimum this much over the next 5 years. So everyone's signing it because they're desperate for chips. So where's the cyclicality? If everyone is now, they have them by the balls for at least 5 years, where's the cyclicality? How is this just going to drop off in 6 months if everyone that's buying has to sign a 5-year agreement? Where is it? It's not there. And so, so this thing is like was trading like 5x earnings just like a month ago, and to be able to buy, because it's not just about profitability, it's about growth, right? Because like, for example, it doesn't matter how much money a company's making if they're not growing, right? So for example, Coca-Cola, that stock is not doing anything. Why? Because how can they grow? I mean, you can buy a bottle of Coke in the Sahara Desert, for God's sakes. It's in every part of Africa. I mean, they've literally saturated the world with Coke. Like, how much more can they grow? I mean, they can grow 3% a year or something. They can't sell. I mean, they cannot grow 400% a year or 20% a year. It's impossible. So no matter how much money they make, right, the stock is not going to really move. It's just going to be like the slow, like you have to like be like Warren Buffett. You have to wait until you're 90 until you make some money. So it's like with Coke, right?
You
So
love
it's
calling
like,
Buffett a retard. You love it.
No, I think the guy is so overrated. But anyway, so basically, so you've got massive profitability. It's a tech company. It's got growth. So it's like it's safe, right? I mean, it's like why would you? In other words, like Tesla is at like PE is like over 200 or something. I think it's like 230, something like. So this when I bought this, was PE was something I think like 5. I mean, so where's your money safer? In a company with a PE of over 200 or a PE of 5? So risk management is everything. So you want a high performance asset that has massive upside, that is super safe, where you're not gonna blow up. Right, you're going to obviously have a lot of volatility because people looking at this thing, when you look at the chart, right, it looks absolutely terrifying, right? If you don't know anything about the company, if you pull up an all-time chart on Micron, okay, I don't think there's ever been a chart like this in finance history, in market history period. Like when you look at it, it just looks like a classic blow off top, like that this thing at any moment will just collapse and crash 90%, doesn't it? Like when you look at it, it looks
it's vertical.
It's just going a straight, like it looks really scary. So it's like, so of course, a lot of people are like terrified. Many of them don't understand the business. They don't, and they're like, or they might trade it. They won't hold it more than a day. But to like buy and hold this thing, looking at this chart, is like if I had no other information and I saw this chart, I would be terrified. I'd be like, well, are you crazy? Like, how can you buy this? This is insane, right? But the point is that in this case, I've just never seen anything like it. And so, but in this case, the reality is that the stock is cheap, really cheap right now with this chart. It's incredibly cheap. So it's safe, right? I'm not going to blow up, right? So in other words, you can have volatility because a bunch of people are like, there's like massive leverage both ways. So it could in one day just drop $150 or go up $150. You can have this massive volatility because many people are scared. They don't understand what the hell is going on. They're scared by the chart. So that would be normal. But if it's like if it's dropping temporarily, like I wouldn't care because again, I'm safe because the company is insanely cheap. Is the cheap? You just where can you show me a tech stock that's building advanced tech that is a critical component of AI, which is also advanced tech, that is growing at the speed, making these kind of margins and growing revenues at that speed? I don't see any. I can't find any other stock that comes close in terms of safety. There's
So
nothing else that comes close.
let me ask you this. I want to get your, I think you're one of the last like true blue blood bulls left. Like just like everything is gonna go up only forever type of bulls. And so I'm gonna read you one of your tweets, and I want you to just like give me your sort of your framework on this. So you quoted Peter Brandt, who, whatever, he made this tweet of this chart of the SPX, and is basically saying it's gonna chop for the next like 10 years, based off of like historical expansion and consolidation. You quoted him and you said total BS. USA is bankrupt. Hyper debt out of control. This is why markets will go up for many years. Billions who own no stocks will become much poorer. USD is worthless. Can you don't have to go super deep, but can you give me your general framework for where the world, like society, but also markets are headed, and what you presume will happen to risk assets over the next 5 to 10 years as a trend?
I mean, it's clear as day that first of all, USD indeed has become worthless. Although maybe the average person may not see it this way, but when you see like some Russian dude buying a $500 million apartment in Monaco, like, dude, $500 million, he just dropped in an apartment. Okay. Ben Affleck sold some bullshit company, AI company, to Netflix. He's an actor who made some bullshit AI for $600 million. Like, look at what athletes are being paid. Look at what, I mean, look at what's, you can't even buy like a nice apartment for less than 10 million in most major cities, like a nice one. I mean, USD is worthless. It's like there's so much money. And I understand that, you know, the average person, they're like, okay, they're like, they're not, maybe they're experiencing inflation, but they're not like, oh, seeing it like, oh, okay, it's worthless. But if you look at like, I mean, like these days, like, I mean, I'm sorry if this offends some people, but like, you know, 10 million is just kind of just makes you like almost like middle class these days, which it used to be a fortune, right? I mean, like say 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it was like, you know, you were set, right? Now I'm not so sure, right? I mean, and so that's one aspect of it, but that's just one aspect of it. But the other aspect is that, I mean, I was talking about this since 2022, saying that we're going into like the biggest pump of all time because of everything, the rate of change, and this is different. People that are saying this is a bubble are going to have a really rude awakening. All these people waiting for a correction with sideline money, they are really gonna get destroyed, because this is not a bubble. Okay, these companies are printing so much money. Okay, this is it is unprecedented. Okay, the amount of money that companies like Nvidia earned at Micron. I mean, Micron's going to make something like, I don't know, like $100 billion in profit this year. Okay, 100 billion in profit, not revenue, profit. Okay,
Oh,
you understand how staggering these numbers? People are talking about bubbles. This is not 1999, where you had these worthless .coms with no revenue, just some idea, and they would put a .com next to their name. And I mean, you have some like pockets with, I mean, of bubbles in this market, you know, because obviously the money chasing like stupid things, and you have some like pockets of bubbles, but the overall market is not in a bubble at all, not even close. But what you're going to see is that as these companies get more and more expensive, right, the corrections are going to get sharper, right? And every time everyone's going to think it's the end of the world, it's the end of the world. So I can tell you right now, I'm usually right about these things, but I can kind of give you the framework right now that the next correction will probably take the S&P down like, you know, 20%. Okay. And after that, you will have like a massive pump higher. And then you would have, there's probably going to be like two major corrections. Okay. Before the bull market ends. Okay. So, and they're going to keep increasing in size because the company's just more expensive.
why does the bull
more,
market end?
So what I mean by end, I mean that that after these two corrections, after the second correction, you will have like an insane pump to like insane levels. Like you'll see Meta like maybe go to 3,000, Micron go to like maybe 8,000 or something, you know, something like
8,000?
that. Yeah, something like that. Maybe five to 8,000. Like okay, like after the second correction, and then we're gonna have a crash, right? But it's gonna be like a COVID style crash, like really scary, like the
Yeah.
Nasdaq.
Like
Nasdaq
real
will probably,
scary.
yeah, Nasdaq will probably come down 37 to maybe 45%.
Whoa.
It's going to be really, really sharp, just like during COVID. It's going to scare the shit out of people because it's going to align with like right around that time, around maybe it might be 2030. So it'll be like people will be thinking 1929. Everyone will be terrified. They'll be all the 1929 comparisons will be everywhere. And then it is going to pump like a missile, okay, from there. So like it's going to go like crash state. It's not, because you see, markets sort of alternate, right? So we had a very sharp crash during COVID. That was 2020. Then we had this, you know, in 2022, you had this bear market, which was a slow burn decline, right? So the next end of the bull market will be a sharp crash. You're not going to have, again, that same slow burn decline. And the thing is that a sharp crash, right, is super bullish. Okay. In other words, you want that. Like, there's nothing more bullish than when you have a super sharp, rapid decline, when all the leverage is being blown out, et cetera. And then when that bottoms, like it might sit at the bottom for a couple of weeks, and then it'll just be like another rocket to new highs. And so over the next like 10 years, there's an opportunity to make just absolutely insane amounts of money with the right positioning, discipline, et cetera. It is just, so yeah, you're going to have, you know, volatility and corrections. And as things go higher and higher, corrections just get sharper. But the yeah. So the idea that we're gonna have 10 years of some sideways market is absurd.
I agree,
It's
it's
a
absurd. Does this end in like hyperinflation? Risk assets are like so expensive you can't. It's like the only thing that's worth anything. Does this end in like utter collapse of the economy? Like, where does this end? What is the like climax of the 2035, 2036 climax? Like, what are we speed running towards in its like glorious fashion?
I mean, honestly, I don't even know why people like think about these things like utter collapse, you know, recessions and things. I mean, it's first of all, it's never that bad. Okay, it's not. It's nothing is going to collapse. The economy is going to continue to do just fine. Like, look, even 2008 wasn't that bad, even though it was horrible. Like,
This is
going by that. I mean, I'll tell you this. Like at that time, I was like really busy. You know, with my company. And I didn't even feel it, man. I didn't even like, and I know maybe a lot of people were struggling. But overall, it's like everything will be absolutely fine. Okay. Nothing will be ending. There is no some line that once it's crossed, that we're all gonna die, that this is just this bull market, then it ends, and then that's it. There's gonna be like a 30-year bear market. Like this is all nonsense. Like these ideas are peddled by I don't know why that it's such a popular thing to talk about. Like it's just like, dude, life is great. Everything's great. Like look at your quality of life versus like just 100 years ago. Like I mean, everything is going really well, right? I mean, yeah, of course, nothing's perfect, right? But your life relative to, let's say, I mean, you and I would be working in a coal mine 100 years ago. I mean, so
fair,
like
fair.
things are really good, and everyone is fine, okay? And people always complain, right? They always complain because things can always be better. But I mean, sure. So I mean, look at the I mean, bear markets are usually they don't even last very long. So I mean, even if you go into a bear market for a little while, like what's the big deal? Like it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's just like but most of the time we're going up, right? And
We are.
uh, and the so it's pretty clear that this combination of factors, right, with what's going on with tech, clearly we're at the beginning of some kind of singularity event, because it's like you can't even keep up anymore with all these new development. Like you're surely you feel it that like you can't
Oh, it's too
literally even
fast.
keep.
It's too fast.
Yes, it's like
It hit
yeah.
escape velocity. Like there's no recovering it. The speed of information. I fully agree. It's too much. I spend 3 hours a day on stream talking about markets. It's too fast. We miss everything we miss so much every day.
Exactly. So that is singularity. That is when singularity is basically when, let's say, we had to, you know, let's say in the last 100 years, we achieved more with technological progress than in the last 1,000 or 10,000. Okay.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna, then we're achieving more in the last 10 than in the last 100. And then you're gonna be
Whoa.
achieving more in 1 year
Whoa.
than in the last 100. And then eventually you're making 100 years of progress in a year, then in a month, then in a week, then in a day, then in an hour, then in a minute, and then in a second, and then you lose all comprehension of what's going on. And so essentially reality just gets saturated with intelligence, and you're just completely just have no idea what the fuck is going on. You're just like, I mean, you just got to just go for the ride. So this is already happening because like every week it's like, oh, this new thing that it's like, what no one can keep up anymore because of how fast and it's going to accelerate, AI making its own, other better versions of AI. making new breakthroughs, and it's going to happen faster and faster, and they're adding computing power at an exponential pace, and everything's just going to, it's not going to slow down, it's going to accelerate, right? And so this is kind of like a singularity type event, um, but the opportunity right now is like we're in a massive bull market. The bull market, there's going to be corrections. Like I would say that in the next 2-3 years, you're going to have two relevant corrections. Okay, like relevant, like maybe I don't think as bad as like April of 25, but like you'll feel it. It'll depending on how your position might hurt, but and then a crash, right? From which again, you want to like go all in on that crash. It might be 5 years out, 4 years out. I don't know. You want to go all in, every penny, because again, and so there's just so many opportunities to create generational wealth that is mind-boggling, right? And so that's the basic thesis, and
Okay.
markets just going straight up.
I got one more
okay?
for you. That I gotta get your opinion on before you leave. Is, by the way, seriously, it is. I know for you, you're gonna say like, "What the fuck ever? This is normal," but you're just true bullishness is refreshing to hear. Give me the like. Okay, crypto's in a little bit of a weird spot right now. You might not think so, but a lot of people that trade these markets actively, especially that are trading shitters, trading alts, trading memes, feel like crypto is in a very weird spot. And Bitcoin specifically has sort of found itself in, for a lot of the active traders, in the what's the next narrative, what's the next catalyst, what happens from here type of scenario. And your singularity future, where does Bitcoin reside, and what happens to the beautiful, glorious gold coin?
So I mean, I think that that people will be looking at $80,000 Bitcoin at some point in the future, like let's say maybe 10 years from now, the same as we now look at $1 Bitcoin from 10 years ago. That's kind of how it will feel. And again, because of the design, because of but it's hard to, like when you see narratives, right? So there's no, it's the price itself is what drives the narratives, right? So for example, like absolutely nobody gave a shit about gold for 10 years. The zero people gave a shit about gold except a bunch of like, weirdos and
You could say it.
psychopaths, all these precious metal, weird people. And then as soon as it like pumped and like, went from 1,500 to like 5,000, okay, all of a sudden everyone is like, oh, gold. Like,
Fair.
what changed? Like, oh, wow, gold. So suddenly it's so special, right? So special. What changed? Just the price, right? Only the price. So precisely the same thing happens here, is that the price itself drives. So in other words, if once Bitcoin starts to like break out and make major moves, and then it's like 200K, 300K, 400K, like I assure you, everyone will think it's the most special, most precious thing in the universe. They're going to talk about it like, oh my God, like it is just so amazing. Like it's so incredible, so precious. And the higher the price goes, the more you'll hear it. So the price itself drives the narrative. Okay, it's not the other way around. And so you don't need narrative. You just at some point the price will just randomly start to rise, because eventually demand will overtake supply. It starts going up, and then that'll fuel the narratives and the sentiment that you're talking about. And that's how it's going to happen. And plus, it's just you know, is just really useful asset, right? Like,
do you worry
kinda,
about quantum and privacy and like Satoshi tokens, all of these like sailors, stretch, MicroStrategy blowing up? Are these things that you think about?
Yeah, I mean, strategy is a clusterfuck of financial engineering that I don't fully understand. But I so I can't intelligently tell you like with confidence like as to what might happen with MicroStrategy, but um but I think that it's not and so I don't, I mean I'm not too, I just honestly I can't form an opinion on that because there's just too much going on, right? Okay.
Fair,
But in
fair,
terms
fair.
of quantum, I mean, no, it's not. I mean, come on. I mean, these quantum computers, like they can't even do like basic multiplication. I mean, yet. I mean, they can't even like factor a number, like, so it's not even close. And so, but the point is that look, Bitcoin is a living, breathing network, right? It's not like a fixed thing. It's like literally just like, uh, it's like public resource with hundreds of thousands of node operators, miners all over the world. And it is a self-sustaining system. And because of all of the different incentive structures, surely, of course, it'll just migrate to a quantum resistant type algorithm or mechanism because every single node operator will support that because it'll increase the value of their holdings and make everyone feel better about their holdings. I mean, so of course this will happen. I mean, it's like there's certain contentious forks and things like that when people like disagree about block size or whatever. No one's going to disagree and think it shouldn't be quantum resistant. Like,
Have you ever sold a
literally,
Bitcoin?
um, only when I, like, for example, like if I am sending it to someone and or I'm paying for something, like I would like buy it and then sell it. So I buy just to sell it, just so that they receive the Bitcoin. But the things that I bought for, like, I've never sold any of my holdings ever.
Do you ever? Is there
But
a price that you sell?
no, I mean, what do you mean by price? I mean, Bitcoin is my currency. So when you say price, it's like it's my currency. I mean, some people have euros, some people have USD, some people have Japanese yen, right? So it's just my currency. And when you say price, like saying, well, is there a price at which you'll sell your Japanese yen? It's weird, no? I mean, or is there some price at which you'll sell your USD? Like, well, no, you just have your USD, and that's like my currency of choice. That's the currency that I prefer to have. And so it doesn't that construct doesn't even make sense, doesn't make sense to me. Like, why? That's just my currency, and it fluctuates against other currencies, but it's the best currency. um let's not forget how incredible Bitcoin really is, and how many times it's actually like really like saved my ass in many situations, right? It's incredibly useful. And
What do you mean by saved your ass?
I mean, listen, I mean, look, I mean, if you imagine like a situation, I don't know, let's say you have some creditors after you, or you're running a business, and you know, uh, some prosecutor has like low caseload, and you import a container of bananas, and they claim you didn't use the correct license to do it, and then they freeze all your assets and charge you criminally. And then, like, look, I literally know a hedge fund guy in New York, okay, who the guy's literally a billionaire, was a billionaire, okay, with a B. Um, you know, and then one day he just gets accused of some stock manipulation, okay? And listen, they froze everything. They came to his house, they took everything out of his safe, they took all his cars, they froze all of his accounts, everything. And you know what this billionaire had to do? Okay? He had to use a public defender. He couldn't even hire an attorney.
No.
He
Public
didn't even
defender?
have, he used a billionaire, was using a public defender. And of course, he got completely fucked because, you know, I mean, so they just ruined his life. And imagine if he had some Bitcoin, he'd be able to hire any lawyer he wanted. He'd be able to continue living the lifestyle he's accustomed to. If he had Bitcoin, what the fuck are they going to do about his Bitcoin? They wouldn't even know he has it. And there would be there would be no way. I mean, do you understand like how that it's like it can save your life? Like people don't understand that. Like they think, oh, that's not going to happen to me. That's not, I've seen that happen to like many people. I've seen that happen to a lot of people where when some bureaucrat can freeze everything you have with a click of a mouse, it's as simple as that. Okay. Some beef with IRS, not even because you did anything wrong, just because they just think you did something wrong. Okay. For a million reasons. I mean, if you own a property, I mean, I mean, you're just paying rent to the state in the form of property tax, you know, and then with all the maintenance, repairs, and all that shit. Like, I don't know, what is the? You don't own anything. It owns you. I mean, what? You're like a slave to this property, where you could just rent something and just leave anytime you want, like complete freedom, and actually have Bitcoin. And in this, in this case, like my Bitcoin is just like I just know my seed, like I have it memorized, and like it's just like all of it is just in my brain. Like, how are you going to take that from me? And how am I going to go through to another country? Like when I was traveling with gold, I'm going to stuff gold bars up my ass and like go through metal detectors. Like seriously, like how it's so completely useless. When I think about the gold, you can't even transfer it anywhere. How will you move to another country with a bunch of gold bars? Let's say you decided to move to another country. You want to live in France or wherever. You want to move to Thailand. How are you going to do that? Like, do you have any idea what the logistics involved? Like, that's just like, it's a completely useless instrument. It's literally, and it could be so easily taken from you, because obviously it's physically somewhere, right? But my Bitcoin is just nothing but a phrase that I remember, that I know, right? And like, that's all it is. Like, how do you take that? It's like there's this amazing comfort in owning it, because I know that no matter what kind of shit hits the fan, I always have money. I always have access to capital, and I can just keep living my life the way I always do, and no one can do absolutely jack shit about it. Like, no one. It's impossible, right? So that is extraordinarily valuable. And if you're a high net worth individual who still doesn't get this, okay, you're making a catastrophic mistake, because one day you might get fucked, and you really will wish you have to be literally reckless and irresponsible if you're like, let's say, worth 100 million plus or 10 million plus and not have any part of your net worth in Bitcoin. You are insane. You are stupid and insane. You don't understand the world you're living in. I mean, look at what's going on with first, I mean, we just went through like COVID and all this wokeness and all this shit. I mean, there could be, I mean, this disparity between the rich and poor is only just going to grow. There could be a civil war. There could be bureaucrats going after you for any reason whatsoever, just because they don't like you. You know how easy it is to cook up a reason to go after you? There are Every time you leave your house, you're breaking the law. Every time. Do you know why? Because there are over 200,000 laws or at the federal level, just at the federal level. There are over 300,000 laws at the state level. Then there's hundreds of thousands of laws at the city level that you're in. Okay. Do you know them all? Not even any attorney on earth knows all these laws, which adds up to maybe like 1 million different laws, right? So you don't know 99% of these laws. So you're certainly breaking some of them, right? So at any time, if bureaucrats want to get you for any reason, okay, they have something on you to get you because you've been breaking laws your whole life. It's designed that way, right? Because you don't know them all. You don't know most of them, right? So you're breaking them unknowingly, right? And then just one day they'll just, if they don't like you, if you, I don't know, get involved, step on somebody's toes, or you're a problem for somebody, and they want to create a problem, it's very, very, very easy to ruin your life. And without Bitcoin, you're absolutely fucked. Okay. It doesn't matter how much money you have. Okay. I've seen it happen to multiple people. Okay. I've been through situations, it could be literally, there could be dozens of scenarios where Bitcoin can literally save your life. Okay. Now, we're not just talking about getting rich by owning it because the value is rising, but just the functional aspect of it is that if you're high net worth, if you don't have Bitcoin, I think you're insane.
Unreal. As a follow-up to that, you don't have to go too long on this if you don't want, but I'm curious what you think of the privacy coins, Zcash, Monero, anything else that falls into the bucket.
I mean, I think Bitcoin is a privacy coin. To me, it's just hilarious. I mean, Bitcoin,
but you like Zcash?
I mean, Zcash is the fact that it's it could be private or not private is either be fully private or they'll make it optional, toggle privacy.
Do you hold any?
No. I mean, I had a little bit in 2017. I don't have any more, but it should just be full, something like Monero is more appealing because it's fully private. There's no optional privacy. It's just there. But at the same time, why do you Bitcoin is already private? There's no name attached to any Bitcoin address. There's no, just the fact that you can trace it doesn't really give you a lot of information. It's just you're doing a lot of guesswork unless you're incredibly stupid in terms of how you acquire it and store it. It is a privacy coin, right? I mean, there's no way to know if you do some very basic OPSEC, right? There's no way to know how much Bitcoin you have, how many different wallet addresses you have. It's not possible. It's I know they're talking about chain analysis and all this other stuff. The reality is no one has any fucking clue. Okay, imagine for instance, I bought Bitcoin, let's say even on Coinbase, right? Mm-hmm. They know who I am. I bought Bitcoin on Coinbase. I withdrew it to some address, okay? Question number one, did I withdraw it to myself or did I send it to someone else? No one knows. But let's say I withdrew it to myself, wallet that I control. And then let's say I go to your house, right? And let's say, and I say, here's 10 Bitcoin, all right? You give me cash. I give you the 10 Bitcoin, okay? Now, I clearly don't own it anymore, okay? Now the Bitcoin is with you. What does it have to do with me? I mean, it's you can't, there's no, it's whose Bitcoin is it? Where did it go? Who's controlling it? It's essentially, there is no actual ownership. Bitcoin is literally anyone who has the private key. Anyone that knows the key can control the Bitcoin. So there is no concept of ownership in Bitcoin. It's they used to have in the 80s, numbered Swiss accounts where you would open it with no ID whatsoever, and then just anybody that would show up with the number, with the correct number, they would give them the money. They have no idea who you are. Just if you show up with the correct number for that account, that's it. It's a numbered account with no identity. So it's like they have no idea who's coming, as long as they just want to see the right number, right? So in this case, you're not actually. What does it mean to own Bitcoin? Like, so like if let's say you know the key, and let's say you share the key with your wife. Okay, so what, do both of you own it now, or like who owns it? I mean, and what if that someone else knows the key? I mean, it's just literally about like having access or not having access. So the idea is it's already completely private because there's no identity attached. I mean, in other words, what they're saying when they say privacy coin is that it's something you can't. It's an untraceable coin. Like when you can't trace the movements from one address to another. That's what a privacy coin really is that you cannot trace the movement.
Yeah.
Okay. With Bitcoin, you can trace movement from one place to another place, from this address to this address, but it's not really giving you that much useful information unless someone is just being incredibly dumb with their OPSEC, right? Like they just like, I don't know, buy it on Coinbase with their ID, and then they go and buy, I don't know, like bricks of cocaine, and and it never moved from that wallet. It's from the same wallet that they withdrew from Coinbase, and like, yeah, sure, that's a really stupid thing to do, though, right? I mean, but someone that wants to is kind of thinks it through, they wouldn't do that if they need to do that, right? So, for me, it is private. I just don't understand the need to, because the problem with Monero is it might be a great idea and this and that, but you can't really even fully verify how many coins exist.
Yeah,
like they could literally
fair.
right now they can have a bug that we don't know about, and it's just that creating massive inflation, like creating like what if the Monero supply just like doubled this morning and no one knows? Like, just no idea. how would you know that? How would you know that, right?
Okay. Yeah, good take on fair. I appreciate the take. I'll say that on the privacy stuff. Also, Airmass, you're the man. I don't do a ton of these. I'm really grateful you came on. The Micron trade has been incredible so far, and it's refreshing to hear a true bull. As a sign off, I'll let you wrap on this one. I'll let you sign off on this one. I'll let you go. Advice to the listeners, aspiring traders, younger generation that is like graduating university or graduating high school into this regime. You don't have to go super long. You can go direct on this one if you want, but like, what do you do? Where do you focus? How do you win?
I mean, I think that, so first of all, look, it's hard for me. I've personally never had a job in my entire life because I started my first business when I was 17. So I don't know what it's like to like actually like work for someone, right? But there's a plethora of opportunities out there. You can make money in so many different ways, and the electronic market is an incredible opportunity because you can just create so much wealth if you master it to some degree, right? And today, like I showed you a total contrast to like your other guest, Chris, that there's like other ways of doing it. And inevitably, like even though that you do need some experience, because like even if, let's say, you conceptually understand some of these concepts that I'm talking about, there's this sort of gut feel that also comes from just trading or investing for some time. And I feel like you kind of need at least 5 years to develop that gut feel.
Yes.
Just coming out, let's say, if you, let's say, I don't know, borrow 100 grand from your parents and ape into something, like you're probably not gonna, like, you should like try to be very careful, have a lot of discipline, and tell yourself, like, I'm just gonna need some time. I'm gonna just but you might blow up in the beginning, but it is well worth mastering it to some degree, because there is no faster and better way to create massive wealth. I don't know any other business like I wouldn't know how to I don't have the skill. Like there's some guys that like they take like 50 grand to like millions. Like I probably don't have that skill. But so for me, because I built a business, I sold it, and then I had capital. But with if you have decent capital, you can really mushroom that into like massive wealth. And I just say, look, I mean, there's endless opportunities, more than there were when I was starting out, in my opinion. And I think just you have to kind of like just become laser focused, obsessive, just like be unstoppable, relentless, and you'll make it. Like absolutely, there's no question. You just have to, like, no matter what your circumstances are, I promise you that if you're absolutely relentless and like have this unstoppable energy, you will make it, especially now. So whatever that is. So just
Airmass.
be relentless, okay?
My fucking guy. Dude, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on, sharing your ideas, your thinking with us. And we're glad you're back, man. Welcome back to Twitter, dude. It was a long 6 months, but my noties are firing again, man. I very much look forward to some future posts. But thank you again, dude. It was an absolute pleasure.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me. I'll be looking out for your posts. Thanks so much. Take care.
Have a good one. Peace. Wow. Airmass. We did it. Can we debrief that? Smiley, thanks for the 10 gifted. Can we debrief that? I mean, what do you think? I mean, look. Yeah, I can't wait to make 10 million and enter the new lower middle class of America. What kind of business do you think he was running? I think he's actually a good human. My read is he's a good human. He's very sharp. He's nuts. Definitely an IRL kind of guy. I think he crushed Bitcoin. He crushed Meta. And he's just like has a firm handshake for sure. And he's just like a true libertarian, brother. Like, he is a real Little Light TV. Thank you for the 5 gifted. He's like a true, like, abolish the government, like, real deal libertarian. Like, this shit is a fucking. He's a real deal, like you guys seen some shit, I presume. All right, hold on. I'm a libertarian. I don't know what it is. Let me go for 30 seconds. I'll be right back just so I can focus. BRB. Look, I'm just gonna say this. It's important, I think, to, like, okay, It's a long discussion. Guy fucking rambles, obviously. I mean, I'm probably the most ADD guy in this entire stream. Okay, so don't tell me about rambling. But it's important in spots to talk to these guys. It really is. These are like, you want Bitcoin at $1 million, you need like a couple thousand of those Airmass type of guys. It's also like, look, the reason we do the stream is to get as much information on the front lines as humanly possible. And so you need all info to make correct decisions, right? And so you get Chris Camillo, who's the complete antithesis of an Airmass, who's the complete antithesis of like a Cupsy, who's the complete antithesis of a Raoul Paul, who's a complete antithesis of Peter Schiff. Like, you get the full picture, and then you make the decision on what you like, what you think, what you believe, who you are as a human. Like, it's basically you digest everything and you realize that there's infinite ways to make it. Everyone's made it on their own fucking strategy. This is something that Jack Schweiger talks about a lot in the Market Wizards, which is like, he has met every trader that's made it every way in between, and he's never met two people that have the exact same style. He's never met two guys that have the exact same style, ever. He's never met two guys that trade the exact same way on the exact same time frame with the exact same assets. Never. And so I have almost a responsibility to you all covering the market to give you all perspectives. And then we do what we do. I trade how I trade. Some of you trade like me, but not exactly the same. Some of you trade the complete opposite of the way that I trade, but you just get all the info, and then you see what you like. You take a little bit from an Airmass, you take a little bit from a Schiff, you take a little bit from Cupsy, you take a little bit from Frank, you take a little bit from everybody. It's like art. It's like art. It's like you're a filmmaker, right? You're in film, you're a director. You watch every fucking movie, obviously. You watch every movie, and then you take the parts that you like, you disregard everything else. And that's why you show up to stream every day. That's why we do this every day. That's why I stream every day. Because I'm going to digest everything, and then I'm going to spit back out a version that's mine, right? And if you don't do it every day, it's hard. He mentioned it. It's like a skill. You build the skill over 3, 4, 5 years. You get the skills. You have to build it. Otherwise, what's the point? And so it's a daily thing. Like, we do this every day. Chat gets tighter. I get closer with you. All get closer with me. We like do group learning on ideas, and everyone has like contracting ideas. And so when we're doing what do you like, what do you hate right now, everyone's shouting out different tickers for different reasons, different time horizons. This is beautiful like hodgepodge that comes together, and you build a market intuition. It's the only way we do it. And so I mean, just to know that guy exists is like fascinating, really. To know that guy exists and is probably crushed it is fascinating to me. It is. That guy's fascinating. And so it's more than a Twitch stream, man. It's the market. It's the one thing he said that I love. The one thing is Bitcoin is like a living, breathing organism. Like, the market is a living, breathing like organism that we have to interact with and like evolve. It evolves and it thinks and it speaks and it looks different and it takes on different forms, and it's dynamic. Like, it's this dynamic ecosystem that is changing every day, right? Every day. It's like, okay, cool. You have ecosystem the way it is, and boom, you throw in Cerebras. Cool. $100 billion. Looks different, feels different, trades different, moves different, gets bid different. It's different every day. And so it's pretty cool. Anyways, in the meantime, while I was trying to get him to say, imagine TG after an ayahuasca retreat. I can't. I'm scared to do that. While I was trying to get him to say, I love Zcash, he wouldn't do it. I tried really hard. I really tried hard to get him to say it. He wouldn't say it. This thing's ripping, which is nice. Bitcoin is flat. By the way, the funniest thing he said is, what price do you sell Bitcoin? He said, what do you mean price? What do you mean, what price? I was like, he said, do you say what price you sell the yen at? Said, no, it's your fucking currency. What price? Bitcoin's my currency. What do you mean price? He says to me. That was good. That was really good. Okay. Huge announcement today out of the Hyperliquid ecosystem that's currently 43.90. It looks incredible. Coinbase comes out and says, today we're expanding our support for Hyperliquid X by becoming the platform's official treasury deployer of USDC. Has Airmass been on already? Should I bring it back right now? Start the interview right now. On-chain markets operate 24/7 and require collateral that is always available, instantly transferable, and deeply liquid. USDC delivers exactly that. Alongside this, we've also significantly increased our position of staked hype. So basically what happened is massive Coinbase X Hyperliquid partnership that could bring 135 to 160 million in revenue for hype from USDC yield sharing. Big positive surprise to now have the largest US regulated crypto business aligned with Hyperliquid. So basically there's a deal that was made between Hyperliquid and USDC Circle that has all of the biggest Hyperliquid pairs will now be backed by USDC instead of Tether or any other stablecoin. And in response, Circle will be giving Hyperliquid massive revenue. Massive revenue. Okay. And I think the numbers are in the ballpark of 440,000 per day. Because Hyperliquid takes all the revenue, buys it back the token. That's how much additional hype buy pressure is coming from the Hyperliquid Coinbase deal beyond the already 100 or 1.7 million in daily revenue from trading fees. At current levels, an estimated 160 million of additional annual revenue is going to Hyperliquid, with Coinbase now the official USDC treasury deployer and Coinbase sharing 90% of the USDC reserve yield with Hyperliquid. They have 11 employees. It's a $55 billion or $44 billion company with 11 employees. Oh, and Coinbase also announced they bought more hype on their balance sheet. And so here's a decent like summary of it. Also, let's check on my, wow. Here's hype. I don't know why Coinbase is involved in this, by the way. Why is this a Coinbase thing? I'm not sure I fully understand. My read on what's happening is 1 year ago, Hyperliquid had no leverage in the rev share conversation with Circle to unlock an additional 100 mil ARR. So they created the AQA standard as a way to introduce competition with protocol level benefits against Circle. We had the whole ticker fiasco. If you're an OG, remember us covering that for the native stablecoin. Remember this? Frax wanted part of it. Everyone wanted part of it. PayPal. Native sale to 100 million supply. Numerous HIP3 deployers supported them. Even HIP4 was meant to only support USDH for validated operated markets. Whether it was planned from the beginning or a later stage pivot, the way it played out was probably the best possible outcome for Hyperliquid. But also one of the worst for the Hyperliquid eco was native markets just weaponized short time frame on HL negotiating power. With how aligned native markets is native is the stablecoin. I'm sure what's best for Hyperliquid is the best narrative, but the dissolution of their core product, really how they wanted this to go down. It's not like native was acquired. I actually don't know that much about this when I'm reading. I don't think it's that deep. Let me read this. God, USDH was the one that won. It's independent. We're no longer with Hyperliquid. Skip. Basically, my read on this is that Circle is in a really tough spot against Tether, who is a fucking behemoth, and they really need to win Hyperliquid because Hyperliquid has just become the de facto trading venue. You just trade on Hyperliquid. That's where you trade. You trade on Hyperliquid. They binked Cerebras. They're about to bink SpaceX, probably. That's going to be a huge one, probably on Hyperliquid. It's just become the de facto hub to trade. It has. I don't think anyone here would really argue with that. You may have a different opinion. You might use something else, but it's just become the town hall. And so winning that as a stablecoin issuer is very important. And so basically Circle was willing to sign a pretty, I don't know if it was a bad deal, but a favorable deal to Hyperliquid to win over that. And so that is what that is. Circle does have some things going in their favor, which is the Clarity Act, which is hard for me to speak on the implications of that without it actually passing and us seeing. But Circle looks good. Leading up to the Clarity, Circle looks really good. And if we get Clarity passed the way that Circle wants it to get passed, where stablecoins can issue yield, then this thing gets very attractive very fast. I think very, very, very fast. And so we'll see what happens. But Clarity is basically going to give specific guidelines on on securities. Is it a security? Is it not? From my understanding, that's the most important thing Clarity Act is going to pass. Clarity. And it's going to give specific guidelines on how to avoid securities law, which has been completely ignored for crypto over the last however long. Completely ignored. Basically, they said, figure it the fuck out and pray you don't get caught on the wrong side of history. So, Clarity's coming at some point here. We will see. And that is the Hyperliquid announcement. As far as regular markets go, we didn't really miss that much. We have this. Maybe we could like really deep dive it tomorrow. This is crazy. A newly released OGE form from 278T disclosed that President Trump filed 3,600 trades involving stocks of public companies between January 1st and March 31st. 3,600 trades in 3 months on Trump. Are you fucking kidding me? Hundreds of stocks and ETFs. The biggest ones being Nvidia, Microsoft, Broadcom, Amazon, Apple, Google, Meta, Goldman, AMD, Airbnb, Palantir, Netflix, Costco, Walmart, JP Morgan, DoorDash, and others. Even buying Palantir right before tweeting the ticker. I mean, 41 trades a day. He's not clicking these buttons. Who's doing it? I don't know. Individual purchases of Nvidia, Microsoft, Broadcom, Amazon, Apple, and others range from 1 million to 5 million in disclosed value. He also reported hundreds of stock sales ranging from 15,000 up to 25 million. Okay. This is probably admin in charge of his account. I don't really know. Like, I mean, it's impossible that he's clicking the buttons. Inconceivable that he's clicking the buttons. There's absolutely no chance. And so that only leaves like a few outcomes here. Just like fry my computer, what just happened? It was 41 trades a day. Wait. Why is this like fucked? Oh. I don't even know what this, like, what I'm looking at here. Sorry. Oh my God, it's like frying my computer. No, I gotta delete this. Dan, that thing is frying my computer. Well, maybe people are doing like analysis on it right now. And so maybe tomorrow we'll go through and we'll look through in depth. But I want to I just want to see like timing of when he bought and like what's up and what's not. This is going to be a fun story to follow because it's not done. GME Ryan Cohen threatens to take $56 billion eBay offer to shareholders. I have a $12,000 PC, by the way. I have a 5090 in this bitch. This is going to be fun. This is what I presumed could happen. I don't fully understand how this works as far as going up a notch to the shareholders. But Ryan Cohen really fucking wants eBay. He wants it bad. And I want Ryan to want eBay to get eBay because it would be very fun. Are we trading it? No. I don't think we're trading it. Let's see, actually. Stock's just going up. 0.2 today, not really 113. GME. GME thinks it's not going to happen. Down another 2% today. But this will be a fun one to follow, 100%. It would be the best, most entertaining outcome by far. We'll skip this for now. Poet is back at all-time highs. If you remember this, the Serenity Photonics stock that the CEO, the CFO had a deal with Nvidia. What company? Palantir? What company? Light. and he went on a podcast, and he broke. It was Marvell, thank you. And he broke an NDA, revealed the deal on some fucking podcast, and Marvell pulled the contract. And Poet basically went down in a straight line. And then they signed some contract yesterday, which clearly was front run. And the stock looks like this now. And so look at this. Down 58%. Up 120%. Insane chart. Can't really trade this. Like, I wouldn't be upset you missed this. Like, gap up. Can't trade this pre-market. No 24/7 perps. You can't trade this. Horrible vibes from this company, by the way. CFO breaking NDA in a fucking podcast. I don't touch garbage like this, but electric to follow. Two more is Take-Two Interactive. We're focused amid chatter. Best Buy sent out an email to customers claiming that GTA pre-orders begin May 18th to May 21st. And so this is fascinating because the GTA trade. And the market liked this. The market really liked this. Gap up 6%, 7%. And so we've kind of been waiting to figure out, like, I don't know. Is this a trade on GTA drop? Probably. Roblox has been trading really bad. $45 billion company. Roblox, the best proxy, has been basically down only. But this chart looks pretty nuts. It's coming for ATH, not that far off. Couple, 10% off ATH. And it's seeming like GTA is coming ASAP. Fucking ASAP. May 18th. Maybe we'll do a pit server. Brother, that would be fun, huh? A pit server. The pit. I'm not that much of a gamer, but I'd be down to fucking play some games. I would play, obviously GTA 5 I'm going to be playing. There's talking about pre-orders on May 18th. But actual game release is probably fall, maybe later. It's going to be absolute box office. What if the game sucks? Highly unlikely. Then last but not least, Ford up another 10% today. Piggybacking on, so Barclays also piggybacked off Morgan Stanley, saying Ford Energy could be an incremental $3 billion revenue. Huge opportunity. I think that's funny about this is Ford Energy is not a thing. It hasn't done anything. Okay. They've done nothing. They've made nothing physical, practical at all. Okay. Ford is up 23% on news that Morgan Stanley said it might come up, and then Barclays said it might go up. Genuinely just KOLs tweeting. That's it. Nothing happened. They didn't build any energy. They didn't ship anything. They didn't announce anything. Morgan Stanley just said, in theory, based off a press release, whatever, this thing could go up a lot. And Morgan Stanley and Barclays both ripped this thing 23%. Maybe it was a fun trade today that I should have taken, but I didn't. You'd be up 7% today. Nothing crazy. Market cap is $57 billion. Batteries. Yeah, batteries. But it's a fun one. Again, I love these type of trades. I love this shit. I love these type of trades. So that fucking fires me up, Love these type of trades. So that is Ford. ETH Mogs Ford. It's crazy. You know what's crazy when you look at these market cap of these stocks? How big? Let's go. Sive, 16 billion. ARM, 230. Adobe, 90. Netflix, 300. Nokia, 77. You come 200, and then you go like this. You look at ETH, and you pull up ETH, and you see it's at $277 billion. And you're like, what? How? Bro, you're missing a lot of free trades. There's a trade every day, my friend. There's multiple trades every day. If we're going for 5-10%ers, there's a trade every day. There's multiple trades every day. You will always forever be missing trades. But focus. I gotta focus. My job is to cover all of them, and then ideally find the one that I like the most. My 100x and 100k. You can't kiss all the girls. I mean, I can, but you can't. You can't. There's no way you can. There's no way you can. Why is Tristan Thompson on market bubble? Is it good? As long as you hit the big ones. Let's see. I love Tristan. This is my dog.
Of course.
Yeah. What you guys been up to, man? I see you guys here cooking, and congrats on your guys, your pod, your show. I love it. I've been watching in, so congrats to you guys. These backgrounds are fire. It's like some
the sets. You want to see the whole thing?
That was Banks' design.
Whoa! What the fuck? Oh,
That
the
shit's
mug
hard.
too? What?
That shit is
Buy it
hard.
at marketbubble.com. I'm just kidding. You can't buy this.
Sick, that's hard.
You know what's funny, bro? We actually
Shout out Tristan Thompson. But the trade every day, man. There's a trade every single day. Underrated. By the way, you want to see this headline? You want me to freak you out right now? You want to get freaked out right now? You want to get actually freaked out? You want to get actually freaked out? Where is it, Tulip King? Wait. Scientists have found that hantavirus may survive in human sperm for up to 6 years, brother. 6 fucking years. Hantavirus can remain in human semen for up to 6 years. Has the potential for sexual transmission even after a person has recovered. The discovery means male patients are likely to be advised to change their sexual practices as it happens with other viruses such as Ebola. They investigated a Swiss 55-year-old man who became infected with the Andes strain of the hantavirus in South America 6 years earlier. They found that although there was no longer any trace of the virus in the man's blood, urine, and respiratory tract, it was still detectable in his semen 71 months later, brother. 71 months later. 71 months. Yeah, they're going to be like, take the vax. I know. How crazy is that? 71 fucking months, bro. Unbelievable. A risk I'm willing to take. That's fucked. That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. Chat, what do you say solo stream tomorrow? Is it time for a solo? I think it is, right? I've been loving the guests, but like, let's get back on track here. Oh, tomorrow's situational awareness. Ooh, what time is it drop? What time is it drop? Ooh. What time is it drop? Ooh, whoa. Can you imagine? Oh, they all drop. Can you imagine he says, I'm in Zcash? How was Eric Voorhees on Market Bubble? Was he good? Did he go? How was Eric Voorhees? He didn't go? Why? Why? He didn't show up? Dude, that's like a huge opportunity. There's like a lot of people that watch that. They had some Jersey Shore looking dude. Brother, that's TJR. That would be TJR. The Jersey Shore looking dude. Oh, I said the start he wasn't coming. Yeah, that would be TJR. The Jersey Shore fellow. Whoa. Let's have sex in a bank. Bending and breaking us bonds. It's crazy Taiki's like signal now. Wow. This thing looks pretty good too. Taiki's signal now, brother. Should I get you want Taiki next week? I'm trying to chill out on guests for a while now. I got most of my goats. I got Camillo. Like I think we've had enough guests for some time, but unless they're super relevant, I would do Taiki and I would do Jez. And then obviously Novogratz, if and when he's down. We'll do Novo for sure. Maybe next week. But I basically got everybody I wanted for the moment. Have you planned your 20 end of the world moments? No, we're gonna do it next week. We might do it on Monday. You promised Good Alex solo. Dude, after Airmass, we need a fucking break. Can you imagine back-to-back Airmass, Good Alex? I need a fucking break after that, dude. We, Bubble Boy again, maybe later. What kicks you wearing? I'm just wearing socks. But I was barefoot, so I put them on. Sweet Green calls our printing stop. Up 5%. I think that was just him. What do you just know? I think that was just Chris Camillo, by the way. We are going to do a stream on Monday, maybe Tuesday, where we are going to go over every potential disaster or like less than 5% event. And we are going to come up with a plan for all of them. Everyone. On what would we trade? What are the events? Like, okay. Less than 5% chance events. Obvious one is asteroid coming to Earth and will hit. Second is Trump takes Cuba. Third is China takes Taiwan. 4 is hantavirus stays in semen for 6 years. Trump takes Greenland. Trump takes everyone's just like Trump takes. Earthquake in California, but like really bad. Airmass gains political power. Oh, Satoshi wallet sells Bitcoin. Trump nukes Iran. The U.S. reveals every state has 200,000 laws that you break every time you go outside at any moment. Aliens are real. USDC DPEG, that's nothing. That already happened. USDC DPEG already happened. They have proof of reserves. I have one. Fort Knox audit, and there's no gold. How about that? Hyperliquid exploit. Oh, internet goes down forever. We can't even how do you even trade that? Internet goes down over 1 week. I have Satoshi cells. AI bubble? What am I supposed to, what do you mean? No power Hoover Dam? What does it even mean? What's like a what does it even mean? Hoover Dam? What are you talking about? Quantum cracks, cryptography. I don't really. I'm scared to say the death word for a. I don't want to write it yet. The red guy gets married. How about like AI cures cancer? The guy falls in love, but she's a crypto finance girl. Trump invades China, fine. Binance insolvent. How about like tsunami? Solar flare. Whoa. Yellowstone. Is there a volcano in Yellowstone? Really? Is it like bad? Wait, what do you mean super volcano? What is a super volcano?
Moving on for now, deep beneath the tranquil beauty of America's first national park, a giant is stirring new seismic imaging has peeled back.
Forests, predictable, even peaceful.
What do you mean it's due to erupt?
But deep below, the story is more complex. Not heat by obvious for vertical urge, distribute heat across the
Right now, in the United States, one of the world's largest volcanoes is gearing up to explode. It's known as
what?
The Yellowstone volcano. And it's not just any regular volcano. Nope. It's a super volcano.
You think Chris Camillo has thought about this before? By the way, remember that girl that was on CNBC? And she's like, if they drop a nuke, what's the trade? Everyone got so mad. And I'm like, no. I stand with that girl. Yeah, how's she look now? Fucking smart.
If Yellowstone decided to erupt, the results would be devastating. But how bad would they be? Is there anything we can do to stop it? Would it affect the entire world? And how would this change our weather? This is What If. And here's what would happen if the Yellowstone volcano erupted tomorrow.
You think the poly market trade, like, is Brokey thinking about this? I don't think so.
Located in
Chris Camillo's in Yellowstone interviewing Buffalo right now. Like, you think the ground's getting hotter?
Wyoming in the United States. Yellowstone.
Like long wheat? Do you long like fertilizers and shit? Long water?
Yellowstone has erupted 3 times in the past 2 million years. This has led some people to wonder whether we should be worried about another Yellowstone eruption in the near future. And by near future, we mean...
What the fuck is that?
Probably in another couple 100,000 years. But instead of waiting so long, why don't we find out what would happen if the eruption...
Yeah, fuck waiting 100,000 years. Let's just do it right now.
...took place tomorrow. If you live in North America, there would be virtually nothing you could do to prepare. Now that this supervolcano has exploded, well, first, what makes Yellowstone a supervolcano anyway? Well, apart from it being larger in size, a supervolcano also produces a much more massive explosion. Most of the time, when we think of a volcanic eruption, we think of the surrounding area. Well, while that would happen at Yellowstone, and it is something you'd need to worry about, it wouldn't be the only thing. In fact, the lava pouring out of the volcano might be the least of your worries. Surprisingly,
what?
There wouldn't be much of it. At least not as much as you'd expect from a supervolcano. That's because before lava leaves a volcano, it's first known as magma. But in this case, a lot of Yellowstone's magma won't be able to become lava.
Bro, put this video in the fucking volcano.
And it won't just be any type of ash.
This is Chris.
Ash particles. And
this is Chris Camillo after like interviewing the magma. He's like running to his computer.
It won't just be any type of ash. These will be tiny, scorching little particles of jagged rock. Now this would affect nearly the entire United States and Canada.
What?
Tens of millions of people within 1,000 kilometers of the eruption would die. If you breathed the ash, which would be inevitable in a scenario like this, it would form a cement-like mixture in your lungs, causing you to suffocate. Buildings would collapse as just 30 centimeters of ash is enough to cave roofs in. And you'd still be in trouble.
Airmass is like micro on 10x's in this scenario.
Even if you were outside that 1,000 kilometer range, experts say that even the east coast of the United States would be covered with 1 centimeter of ash, which would still be incredibly dangerous to our human lungs. Even parts of Europe would see some ash, maybe a light dusting, and that wouldn't...
Europe?
...be the only effect they'd experience.
Dude, Calvin's like, this is coming tomorrow. Calvin is like, Calvin has this shit on his calendar like marked. % chance every day this happens. He's like waiting for this.
From the deadly ash everywhere, the entire world would experience a temperature drop. The ash lingering in the air would block out the sun, resulting in significant weather changes.
What?
The global temperature would drop by 10 degrees, an effect which could last as long as a decade. The ash would also affect crops, water supply, and virtually everything else in the western part of the world. So, although you'd probably survive the initial explosion, you'd eventually suffer the consequences of the ash. Whether that means dying relatively quickly or living long enough to experience a colder, harsher world. Luckily, you can
winter is coming video, bruh.
Take a deep breath of ashless oxygen, knowing that something like this will probably never happen, at least not in our lifetime. An eruption like this at Yellowstone would be known as a supervolcanic eruption. A more likely explosion at Yellowstone would be a hydrothermal eruption. This mainly involves a lot of steam and some rocks hurtling through the air. Although something like this would be bad, it wouldn't be nearly as scary as what we're getting here. A more likely eruption at Yellowstone would be a relatively simple lava flow. In fact, since the last major explosion, 600,000 years ago, we've had nearly 50 of these eruptions and 0 casualties. We know one way to almost certainly get killed by lava, and it involves dropping your trash into it. But that's a story.
Okay. So there's a volcano in Yellowstone called supervolcano. And that thing is a fucking... What else? What else? What about like they find out who Satoshi is and he's retarded? Coin come back to 1 bill. Like, not enough people are talking about this. Like, they discover Satoshi and it's like, Russia starts war with NATO. A fake nuke notification, like what happened in Hawaii? What are you talking about? What? What do you mean they told everyone a nuke was going off? What? 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 How do you tell everyone a nuke is going off? On the morning of January 30th, 2018, an alert was accidentally issued via the emergency alert system and wireless emergency alert system over television, radio, and cellular networks in the U.S. state of Hawaii, instructing citizens to seek shelter due to an incoming ballistic missile. What? Dude, can you imagine you get the noti that there's about to be a nuke and you're going to die in an hour and you do some fucked up like you fucking do some shit and then they're like, never mind. And you're like, do I gotta go to jail? Like, I feel like that's completely unfair. That's so unfair. Like if like you would like run to the you like rob the Rolex store or like you go do some crazy shit and they're like no, never mind, like it was a joke, and you're like I was also joking, and they're like no, you're going to jail, and you're like I thought I was gonna die in 12 hours. That's crazy. Okay, fake nuke noti. That, by the way, that would definitely dump the stock market. DeepSeek dumped the stocks 10%. That would nuke. No, it's probably not a good word there. That would dump. That would drop the stock market. Nuke wasn't a good word there. I didn't mean it like in a bad way. It just felt like the obvious. Vernacular. Sleeper attack. Stop. I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing that. What if like the White Walkers wake up like in fucking Game of Thrones? Airmass. Airmass bearish. Airmass bear post Bitcoin. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Wow. I just noticed that we're 20 minutes over time. That means tomorrow has got to be really short to make up. That means tomorrow has to be really short. It's the only way to make up for it. It's the only way. It's the only way. What time you live tomorrow? Same time every day, brother. 3:30 p. It's really 3:40. I'm being honest. It's 3:40. You really drew that out? You want me? You want me to rug? You wish I didn't stream longer? You fucking asshole. It's like no. Bro's like stream less. It's like what do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Does that mean you're getting Saturday morning stream? No, I mean tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Saturday morning stream is insane. That will never happen. That will genuinely probably never happen. Saturday morning stream. I don't think. China Coop. Trust me. Well, we're gonna add that to the list. Right, guys, streams on a Saturday. We are. What time zone? I'm start watching live. EST 3:40 EST. Like I started 3 hours and 20 minutes ago. Also, yeah, if you're on YouTube or Twitter, I'm live every day. It's really 3:40. I'm not gonna lie. 3:40 p.m. EST. Welcome to the stream, brother. Boof head. Right on, man. Me too. I fuck with look, I'm not a boof head, but I fuck with your mission. Oh, Tattoo removal is a really good trade. I wonder what. That's actually a good one. It's not that good though. One of my favorite tweets ever is like Pete Davidson, like getting all his tattoos removed is like the biggest rich person rug in history. Convince everyone to get tattoos and like the rich people can get rid of them. Nobody else can. The middle class, $10 million, could get rid of their tattoos and nobody else can. It's pretty funny. That is pretty. I mean, it's like objectively funny. And sorry. The upper middle class, the new upper middle class, $10 million. Basic Z actually tweeted about this well before Airmass. Hate to be that guy. But it's in a Basic Z article. I don't know which one. It might be in Loot and Rob. Middle class, no. No. Big gay TV show? No. Fortnite Hitler. How old is Basic Z? I don't want to dox him. I actually don't. Here it is. How many of the new upper middle class? 150 million and a wife. It's so good. 150 million and a wife. Welcome to the upper middle class, my fellow 9-figure Ians. All right, I'm fucking the stream. I'll be back tomorrow at 3:40 p.m. EST. I love you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for pulling up. Thank you for supporting. Friday shoot tomorrow is solo. Finally, I'm excited. On that note, I will catch you when I catch you. I'll see you when I see you. Have a great rest of the day, motherfucker. Peace.